Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rukshitha, a national seminar with paper and poster presentation presented by Team Ayurapta on this second day. First of all, let me invite our respected panel members and now we can start the session. And dear participants, the time allotted for your presentation is 8 minutes. Please keep it in the mind. And I wish all the very best to each and everyone. Now I invite our first participant, Dr. Pradiksha Deepak. I invite Dr. Pradiksha Deepak. Dr. Pradiksha.
Hello, Dr. Pradiksha.
Dr. Pradiksha, you are not audible.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, doctor. You are audible, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Pradiksha, please share the screen, doctor.
Dr. Pradiksha, are you there? If so, please respond.
Dr. Pradiksha Deepak, can you hear me? Okay, Dr. Pradiksha, we are calling you next. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Reena for the paper presentation.
Hello.
Hello, doctor. You
Hello,
are
sir.
audible, doctor.
Huh.
Please share the screen, doctor.
Yes, sir. Sir, some issues in sharing.
Your screen is visible.
Okay, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, doctor. Your screen is visible, doctor.
Good evening to all of you. My name is Dr. Reena Sainath Kannake. I am a PG scholar, Nidan Department. Today I am presenting a paper on the topic of review of liver function test. So there is a review of liver. The liver is the largest organ in the body, located below the diaphragm in the right upper quadrant of the abdominal cavity and extended approximately from the right fifth rib to the lower border of the rib cage. The working cell of liver are shown as hepatocytes. Specifically now, liver function test included in three main components, that is hepatic enzymes, synthetic function, that is synthesis of albumin and globulin, then bilirubin, that is unconjugated and conjugated. So first is hepatic enzyme, that is aspirate aminotransferase, as we call as SGOT and ALT, alanine aminotransferase, that is ALT and SGPT, alkaline phosphate, that is ALP, gamma globulin transferase, that is GGT, in the synthesis albumin and international normalized ratio. bilirubin, unconjugated, that is indirect, conjugated, that is direct. Now, etiologies of increase in AST and ALT parameters. The AST normal range to 5 to 40 unit per liter. Hepatocellular diseases that like cirrhosis and hepatitis drug toxicities where increase the AST level. Also in biliary diseases, that is cholecystitis, cholangitis, etc. Acute MI, hemolysis, etc. Now, ALT parameter normal range is 7.6 unit per liter. Any from hepatocellular and biliary diseases, as we seen in AST. Now, alkaline phosphate test normal value is 20 to 140 unit per liter. Normal value varies in age and also in a gender. Example, serum ALP increase in children than adult. ALP helps to differentiate hepatocellular jaundice from cholestatic jaundice because as we know that AST is ranges maximum in hepatocellular jaundice and ALP and GGT is also seen in hepatocellular, also in cholestatic jaundice. Increase also in bone, that is metastasis, Paget diseases and hyperthyroidism, etc. Now gamma glutamyl transpeptase normal range to 0 to 30 international unit per liter. Increased in a broad range of hepatocellular diseases with the similar sensitivity and specificity like ALP, that is alkaline phosphate. Increase also in diabetes, renal failure, and alcohol abuse. Now, second function is synthetic, where albumin includes normal range 3 to 5 mg per dl. Increase synthesis in the diseases of chronic liver diseases and malnutrition. Decrease in the synthesis of chronic liver diseases and malnutrition. Increase in the synthesis of nephrotic loss and protein losing enteropathy. Internal redistribution seen in an increase of capillary permeability. Now, INR ratio, that is ranges from less than or equal to 1.1. It depends upon the prothrombin time, that is normal range 11 to 12.5 seconds. Prolonged PT seen in hepatocellular diseases, also in obstructive diseases like biliary. Also decreased in a chronic liver diseases, vitamin K deficiency, malnutrition, malabsorptions, and using a very prolonged antibiotics. Now, a total bilirubin range is 1.2 mg per dl. Total bilirubin also distributed in unconjugated and conjugated bilirubin. Unconjugated ranges from 0 to 0.2 to 0.8 mg per dl. Conjugated is 0.3 mg per dl. Now, increased causes in the unconjugated and conjugated were increased in hemolysis, ineffective erythropoiesis, genetic diseases like Gilbert disease and Crigler-Najjar syndrome. Also, increased in conjugated bilirubin here, elderly and mild biliary diseases, liver cirrhosis, hepatitis. Also, genetic disease like Dubin-Johnson syndrome and Rotor syndrome, where the other investigations are included in LFTs are bromosulfane test, bromosulfalin test, that is we also called as BSP. Normal range we can consider up to 5 kg per 5 mg per kg body weight, where a dye pushed intravenously and serum concentration is measured at the time of 45 minutes, also at 2 hours. Dye is used to assess the excretory function of the liver. Now also we can include here fifth nucleotide, that is normal range to 2 to 15 unit per liter. A serum 5 nucleotide increase in hepatocellular diseases, and it's parallel to ALP GGT, which is also known as which is also the parameter which is used for biliary diseases most of. Now metabolic capacity we can consider as galactose tolerance. Then detoxification, where the liver function indicates detoxification, which is measurement for hippuric acid. Synthesis is an ideal test for assessing the detoxification of the liver function, where we knows the synthetic and detoxification synthesis of albumin globulin ratios, which are included in a liver. So that is why we considered as a detoxification, which is measurement for the hippuric acid. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
doctor.
doctor.
So next I invite Dr. Priyanka Nagare. I invite Dr. Priyanka.
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Priyanka.
I mean,
Okay, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor. You are audible.
yes.
Hello, Dr. Priyanka. Hello, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Priyanka Nagare. Okay, doctor. Please
Yes,
share the screen, doctor.
sir. 5 minutes.
Doctor, if you take time, then you can present next. Please be there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Screen was not sharing.
So you
Dr.
can present
Priyanka
it next,
Nagare,
doctor.
you have any problem with screen sharing, Dr. Priyanka?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, doctor. Don't worry. I will share for you, doctor.
Okay.
1 second, doctor. Dr. Priyanka, please start the session, doctor.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Doctor,
Hello,
you are
doctor.
audible. Please start.
Yes. Hello. My name is Dr. Priyanka Anil Nagre. My paper presentation topic name is Morphological Presentation of Cucurbitaceae family, guided by Dr. Sanjeevani Shetukar ma'am, College genera with 90 species. Distribution in tropical and temperate region of the world. Cucurbitaceae family plants. Here are some names of this family plants. That is Benincasa hispida, that is Kushmanda, Citrullus vulgaris, that is Tarbuza, Coccinea grandis, that is Kundru, Cucumis sativus, that is Khira, Cucumis melo, that is Kharbuja, Cucurbita pepo, it's Safed Kaddu, Cucurbita maxima, it's Lal Kaddu, Langeria leucantha, that is Loki, Lupa acantangula, that is Turai, Lupa acantangula amara, that is Karvi Turai, Mamordica chiranda, that is Karela, Mamordica dioica, that is Ban Karela, Trichosanthis anguina, that is Chichonda, Trichosanthis cuculmerina, that is Jungli Chichonda. Then the morphology of these plants, that is the flowers are like monoecious or dioecious. This color are yellow, white, or there is solitary. This single flower is in number, that is paniculated or racemose in number. Then imbricated activations, then pedicelated, unisexual and pentamerous in number. Then the corolla of are five petals, velvet activation. Then calyx are sepals 4 to 5. Gamosepalous in male flower sepals are bell shaped. The picture of these points are shown in the PPT. Then gynoecium is usually carpels or syncarpous, unilocular. Ovules are many, partially placentation. Then the leaves of these family plants are stipulated or exstipulated, simple, 5-lobed, alternate, hairy, and rectangular venetions. Then the roots are tab roots or tuberous roots. Then stems are aerial, erect, usually weak, succulent, green, hairy, angular, branched, hollow, tendrils. It has tendrils like simple, slender, elongated, and pubescent. Then the here we explain some plants of Cucurbitaceae family like Momordica chirenta is also called as Karela. It is also called as bitter gourd, annually or perennial climber small shrub, grows up to 5 meters in length. Each plant bears separate male and female flowers. Fruit, it has a distinct whitey exterior and oblong shape. It is bitter in taste, orange color. Then leaves, it bears simple alternate leaves, 4 to 12 centimeters with 3 to 7 deeply separated lobes. Then flowers are monoecious, male flowers are solitary. Then the seeds are 8 to 13 mm long, compressed. Chemical constituent, it contains glycosides, saponin, memordicine uses. Root is relaxative, antipyretic, appetizer. Its fruits and leaves are anti-helminthic in nature. Then next plant is Trichosanthus dioica. It is also called as pointed gourd or purple. It is a perennial plant. Stem is slender, extensively climbing. Tendrils are 2 to 4 centimeters. Leaves are 7 to 5 by 5 centimeters. Not lobed, rigid, rough on both surfaces. The flowers are dioecious. Petioles are 2 centimeters. Fruits are oblong, nearly spherical, smooth. Fruit is sour and sweet in taste. Chemical constituent is saponin, volatile oils. Uses. Then roots are cathartic actions. Root has a cathartic action that is purgative, and leaves has an antipyretic bronchitis. Then next plant is Benincasa hispida. It is also called as Kushmanda. It also called as wax gourd or white gourd or winter gourd. The stems are angular hispid. Petioles are 7.5 to 10 centimeters. Leaves are large, orbicular, cordate shape. Then the fruits are broadly cylindrical, not ribbed, hairy, ultimately covered with a waxy bloom. Flowers are axillary or solitary. Then corolla is yellow, petals 3 to 5 centimeter long, ovate. Calyx are tubed into 13 centimeters. Then the seeds are then the seeds are 8 to 12 into 5 to 7 mm. Avoid compressed yellowish white marginate. Chemical constituent, it contains cucurbitacins, beta-cistesterol, their acetates, several amino acids, flavonoids, glycosides. Uses. It has anti-allergic, anti-helminthic activity. It has an antioxidant action due to the presence of terpenes, flavonoids, C, glycosides, and sterols. Then next drug is Luca aegyptiana. It is an annual climbing or trailing herbaceous species that can grow to the length of 15 meters. The Luca fruit is a cylindrical, filiform, smooth, and dehiscent capsule, 20 to 50 centimeter long and 6 to 10 centimeter broad, which has a characteristic fibrous mesocarp. The leaves are alternate, large, 10 to 20 centimeter long, ovate, and dark green. The flowers are yellow. Female flowers are pistillate, staminose. The calyx are 5 sepals, gamosepalous, velvet aestivation. Corolla has a 5 petals, petalous, imbricate. The seeds are numerous, dull black in color, elliptic or ovoid, 10 to 12 mm long, 6 to 8 mm broad. The chemical constituent is alkaloids, steroids, triterpenoids, flavonoids, and glycosides. Uses. The loofah is primarily grown for its fiber production. The young fruit and the leaves can be cooked as a vegetable. Fruits are used in India to make curry or eaten fresh or dried. When the fruit matures, it becomes fibrous. The fiber is used as a sponge for washing by women and scrubbing the utensils. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. So next I invite Dr. Ram Avdar Rajendra Gupta.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, doctor, you are audible.
Okay, ma'am. I'm sharing the screen. 1 second, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am? Screen?
Yes, doctor, it's visible.
Okay, ma'am.
Please start.
Okay, myself. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Myself, Dr. Ram Avatar Gupta, second year PG scholar, Department of Dravegun Vigyan, Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Sayan, Mumbai. Today's my topic for paper presentation is Shigru, the miracle tree. Why this plant is called as a miracle tree? We will come in. We will come to know after the end of the session. After seeing the various slides. As we are well aware that in Ayurveda many formulations are used for various diseases, but the Ekal Drava Chikitsa, that is single drug, is also very essential. So after keeping the principle of a single Drava principle, that this drug Shigru was selected for the literary review. Shigru, it is common, it is a Sanskrit name. In Latin name, its Latin name is Moringa oleifera, as we all well aware. Family is Moringaceae family. It is widely cultivated and it can easily be distributed throughout the India. It can be used both as aushadhi and ahar dravya. Information. Its Hindi name is Sahijan. It is called Sahijan. Marathi name is, it is called Shevga. English name is the horseradish tree, drumstick plant, and ben oil tree. And it is cultivated throughout the India. The major synonym of these drugs are the Sobhanjan. In classical texts, you will come to know this word very well about Sobhanjan because it is very auspicious tree. Shigru, it is called a Shigru because it is strong and pungent in characteristics. It has a synonym such as Tikshna Gandha because of its strong and pungent odor. Akshiv because it relieves the intoxication, and Mochak because it cures the multiple diseases. After the literary reviews, Acharya Charak has given this drug into the Kromigna, Shvedopag, Sirovirachana, and Katuskanda, while the Shushruta has mentioned this drug into the Varunadi and Sirovirachanadi Ganas. Coming to the varieties or the types of the drug, Acharya Bhavaprakash has given the three varieties of this drug, that is Shyama, Shweta, and Rakta variety, and Acharya Rajnigantu has given the Neel, Shweta, and Rakta varieties. Based on the color of the flower, it is mainly of two types, Shwet variety and the Rakta variety. Shwet variety, we commonly see the Shwet variety, which is called as the Moringa oleifera, which is called as Katu Shigru because it is bitter in taste. And the Rakta variety is called as the Moringa oleifera, Moringa concanesis, which is Madhu, called as Madhu Shigru because it is sweet in taste. The seeds of the Shigru resembles like marich, hence the seeds are also called as the Shwet marich. In this picture, you can easily see the Moringa oleifera, the white variety, along with the leaves and flowers and the drumstick. You can easily appreciate in this picture. After that, the Rasapanchak of this drug is mainly Katu Rasatmak, Katu Vipak, Katu and Ushna Virya. It is Laghu Ruksha and Krishna properties, and mainly it does the function of the Kaf and Vatshaman. The complete review or literature review was done of this drug. According to the Bruhat Rai, that is Acharya Charak and Vagbhat, both has mentioned this drug in the treatment of Visarpa, Arsh, Shoth, and Krumi. Both the Acharya Charak and the Vagbhat mentioned this drug Shigru Mool Kwat in the treatment of Ashmadi Chikitsa, that is renal calculus. It can be given. Apart from Acharya Charak has given this drug along with Kasmar, the Patra Swaras, Shigru, and Shushka Mulak in the treatment of Hikka and Kas, while the Acharya Vagbhat has given the leaves of this drug in the treatment of eye disorders. Apart from that, Acharya Shushruta has given some different indication of this plant. He has mentioned this drug in the wounds which are present in the leprosy condition. You can easily use the leaves of this plant in the condition of ascites, that is plehodar, Shigru Quat along with the Pipali, Sindhav and the Chitrak can be used. And the condition of Apache conditions, the Aupidak Nasya of the Shigru can also be, Shigru seeds can be used. Chakrapani has given this drug in the treatment of the piles in the form of Pranada Gutika. In the Lagutrai, Azara Sharangar and Bhav Prakash both has given this drug in the treatment of abscesses along and also in for the treating the fever, which we commonly use Sudarshan Churna. Sudarshan Churna as the major ingredient as a Shigru in that content. All the Nigantus, Bhav Prakash Kaidav and Dhanvantari Nigantus have mentioned this drug in the condition of the Vrana Shotha, Krumi, and Vidradi condition. So after complete literature review of the drug, we can conclude that this drug works excellent in those conditions of the cough and vata javastha. So for curing the kapha and excessive cough with the excessive plague and vata, we can surely use this drug. Acharya Bhavaprakash in Guruchyadi Varga has given some of the features, some of its characters, such as Shiguru Katu Katu Pake, Tikshna Ushna Madhuro Lago, Deepano Rochana Ruksha, Shara Stikta Vidaha Krutam, Sangrahi Shukrala Rudyam, Pitta Rakta Prakopane. The major parts are used are the root, bark, and seed, but we can use the panchang. All the parts of this tree can be used. Now coming to the nutritional information about this drug. This is the excellent source of vitamins, especially vitamin A, B, and C. This plant is the leaves of the moringa said to have provide 7 times more vitamin C than the oranges, 10 times more vitamin A than the carrots, 17 times more calcium than the milk, 9 times more protein than the yogurt, 15 times more potassium than the bananas, and 25 times more iron than the spinach. This was a study conducted in 2013 and it was proved. It is this plant is also called as the mother's best friend because it increases the lactation and also cures the anemia in females. This plant is called as a miracle tree because WHO in 1998 has given this drug as an alternative to provide the nutrition to the malnourished childs in poor countries. So this drug is completely powerhouse of the nutrients. We can see the nutrients. It is 92 nutrients, 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatory drugs, 18 amino acids, and 9 essential amino acids. This drug carries. Again, you can see in this PPT the miracle tree that could cure 300 diseases, including the tumors and the diabetes. And you can see the benefits of this plant. And coming to the nutritional, again, some of the studies that were conducted on these different parts. Its roots contains pterigospermine, which act as antibiotic. It can kill both the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Its root bark contains the moringine and the morigine contains. Its seeds have the antibacterial properties. Leaf extract has been significantly working in the condition of hypothyroidism. And in vitro studies have shown that this is anti-cancerous, hepatoprotective, hypoglycemic, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-cyclic effects. Enzymes we can use. In this picture, you can appreciate the different parts, whether it is root, whether it is stem, whether it is leaves, root bark, or seeds. All the parts are using in multiple disorders. So, concluding this session, this is a multi-purpose drug that it can be used as a ahar as well as the Aushad purpose. You can see it is powerhouse of all the nutrients. So definitely you should prescribe this drug in upcoming future in your practice. And these are some references that I have taken for this drug. Thank you.
Thank you so much, doctor. So next I invite Dr. Masarao Dhyaneshwar Bengal. I invite Dr. Masarao Dhyaneshwar.
Bengal. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, doctor. Please start.
Good. Yes, ma'am. Wait, ma'am. I'm sharing a screen. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, doctor.
Ma'am, there is a problem in screen sharing.
Okay, doctor. Please try it again.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Mazarao,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a problem, ma'am.
your screen is visible, but there is no PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
So if at present we are unable to share the screen, so please be there, doctor. You can present later.
Wait, ma'am. Wait. Sorry, ma'am. There is a problem, ma'am, for
It's okay,
screen
doctor. You
sharing.
can present later. Please be there.
Okay, ma'am.
So next I invite Dr. Ruduja Chandrasekhar. I
Yes, ma'am.
invite Dr. Ruduja. Doctor,
Yes, ma'am.
please start sharing.
Should I start with the PPT or?
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Ruduja.
Is it visible, ma'am?
No, it's not visible, doctor.
Is it visible now?
Yes, doctor, it's visible now.
Okay. Uh, Should I start?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Hello, myself, Dr. Rutuja Chandrasekhar Kadam. I'm PG scholar and Ayurveda department. I'll speak about Pathya and Apathya for immunity in children. As we all know that Ayurveda is a science which deals with significance of diet as well as the regimen as a part of Chikitsa. Pathya and Apathya both has supportive role in the management of diseases, whereas in some Vyadhis, we'll find that the following Pathya and avoiding Apathya is enough to cure the disease. Acharyas indicate importance of Pathya Ahar by stating that if a patient takes wholesome food, there is no need to take medicine. So if we take unwholesome food, then also there is no need of medicine. In later case, medicine will not be effective. According to Acharya Kashyap, Ahar is quoted as Mahabheshaja. The main two prayojans of Ayurveda, which are to first is to overcome the disease and maintain good health. To fulfill both the prayojan of Ayurveda, we require good Vyadhik Shamatva, that is immunity. So about Pathya and Apathya, for the synonyms are for Pathya are Satmya, Swastha Hitakara, Upashay, Hita Ahar, Dhatu Samyakarata, सुख परिणाम कर and स्वस्थ ऊर्जस कर. For apatya, asatmya, स्वस्थ अहित कर, अनुपशय अहित कर, धातु असाम्य कर and असुख परिणाम कर. Later on we'll move towards ahar matra pradhanatama, which is matrashi syat ahara matra punaragni balapekshini. Reference is taken from Charak Sutra, third verse from 5th chapter. Person should always consume food in proper quantity. The quantity of food depends upon the strength of the Jatharagni. Quantity of food consumed which gets digested without creating disturbance in normalcy of body and within the stipulated time, that should be considered as proper quantity. This means the person who has habits to consume food in proper quantity daily, or the person who is inclined to consume food in proper quantity. Here the quantity is which that does not harm the body. The definition of pathya, patho anapetam, yadyachoktam manasaha, priyamam, yacha priyam apathyam, niyantram, tatra lakshet, which is quoted from Charak Sutra, 25th verse. Pathya is which is called as patha, means various channels in body, and anapetam means not consuming any harmful for the body channels, and on contrary, which is wholesome or soothing for the body, can be labeled as pathya, which is suitable or fit for the body, especially the diet. And ahar and vihar, which are not harmful to the body, are called as pathya, whereas apathya are completely opposite to all this. So the definition of immunity, which is vyadhi kshamatvam nama vyadhi balo virodhi tattvam vyadhi utpada pratibandhakatvam, means here the immunity states that which opposes the vyadhi bala, and along with that it does not produce vyadhi, that is vyadhi utpada pratibandhakatvam. It is quoted from Chakrapani Tika, Charak Sutra 28. The human body has the ability to resist almost all types of organisms or toxins that tend to damage the organ. This capacity is called immunity. Then the importance of pathya and apathya. All the acharyas have stated importance of pathya. Charak Acharya has stated pathya for each disease in his Samhita. Then the need of pathya in children's immunity, that is pathya is suggested in various diseases in Ayurveda. It is very necessary for the patients to have the food which will keep their dhatu in healthy state and will not let them get vitiated more from the doshas. Pathya is that which brings the vitiated dosh to normalcy, and apatya which causes vitiation and abnormalities in the dosh. Pathya Kalpana increases Jatharagni, that is the digestive power of the body, and Dhatu Samya, which has a very important role in to develop the immunity, as the verse says, Samadosha Samagnischa Samadhatu Malakriya Prasanna Atma Indriya Manasvastaitya Bidiyate. The Pathya Dravyas for the children to increase their immunity, it is divided into three, that is after birth till 6 months, uh, which includes the more sleeping time of the baby, and along with that, vitamin and calcium supplements. After 6 months, that is iron supplements, along with the weaning, and including the top feeds of the baby or the complementary foods. And after 1 year, that is all the food, fruits, vegetables. Um, Along with that, the breastfeeding Suvarna Prashan, Dugdha, Ghruta, Madhu, Ashwagandha, Shatavari, Bala, Amalaki can be included in the diet. Also, if breast milk is not available, then cow milk or fortified milk products which are available nowadays can be used. The ahar should be shadrasatmak, and Suvarna Prashan can be given. Along with this, the Bala Vruddhikar Bhav, Sharir Vruddhikar Bhav are also part of Pathya. And the immunity enhancing measures also, like antioxidants or fruits like pomegranate juices, apples, mangoes, or the seasonal fruits can be given. The sleep time is should be boosted, and exercises can be done. This helps in calming and the stress and anxiety. Along with that, the supplements like iron and zinc can be given. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Next is a poster presentation.
Yeah. So my topic is role of Panchakarma in child lifestyle disorders. First of all, we'll see what are child lifestyle disorders. That is the result of inappropriate relation between people and the environment. And these are mostly due to the primary habits of the people. First of all, we'll review the lifestyle of children nowadays, where we can see over usage of mobiles, sedentary lifestyles. Many are not willing to play outdoors, want to have fast food and junk foods. Also, many mothers and relatives nowadays don't bother about the weight according to their age. They just overfeed the babies and with the available fortified powders, and make their babies obese. So this is also the one reason. This all results in laziness, irritability, and many other complaints. These junk foods, especially the fried items, Domino's, Maggi's, which attracts children with their various advertisements and attractive packs or meals, is very dangerous for the health actually. Even the beverages like hot chocolate, cold coffees, or the milkshakes, which are high in sugar content, are being the big reason for obesity. The other causes, as already discussed above, other causes are also include unhealthy diet, munching of fast food, soft drinks, not enough exercises, unhealthy and more obesity, that is weight gain, stress factors, hydration habits, that is not drinking enough quantity of water, the sleeping patterns of the babies. Also, nowadays, addiction of TVs, mobile screens, and social medias are seen. Skipping meals, and most important, that is the influence of parents in lifestyle of the children. This all results in laziness, avoiding outdoor games. Maybe the child exhausts early. Dental caries, asthma, or the ASDs and ADHDs. For this, the treatment part, that is, first of all, we have to teach the children to adopt healthy diet and healthy habits. Um, keep the children well hydrated to maintain the metabolism, make the children or provoke the children for physical activities, for doing the physical activities more, and have proper weight check. Now we'll move towards the Panchakarma. Shodhana or Panchakarma is conducted initially before starting Shaman Aushadhis. So Panchakarma, which prevents Vata, Pitta, Kapha, as well as Meda and Samprapti Vighatan, Dushit Meda, along with stress and strain of mind and body. Panchakarma helps in detoxification and purification of the rejuvenating therapies. It deals with correcting Agni Dushti, Kapha Dushti, Medo Dushti, Manavaha Srotas Dushti. Panchakarma procedures like Snehan Svedan, which helps in bringing the, along with that Vaman Virechan, which helps in bringing the Shakhagat dosh in Koshta, and then uh, helps in the doshas bringing out of the body. All the Panchakarma procedures cannot be performed in small babies, but the Basti, especially Matra Basti or the Kalpa Basti, explained in Kashyap, which gives miraculous results in Vibandha, that is constipation, which is the most see, which is the most seen disease nowadays. The Snehan Svedan and Udvardan can be used in obesity disorders. Influenced by parents' lifestyle, along with that overusage of mobiles and resulting into autisms or ASDs and ADHDs has tremendously increased nowadays. So here we can use Shirodhara, Shirobasti, Nasya or Shiropichu, Ghrutapan like Kalyana Ghruta, which has its utility in Unmad Apasmar or Atatvabhinivesh, can be used in such conditions. Unhealthy diets, which results in Rasa and Rakta Dushti, which results in skin infections or Pama or Vicharchika like Kushta, we can do Rakta Mokshan here. Along with this, the unhealthy diets to disturb the menstrual cycles, which can leads to PCOD, PCOS. Here the Panchakarma along with the yoga go hand in hand. Along with that, other Panchakarma procedures which are included in Dinacharya like Danta Dhavan with the Kashaya Katu and Tikta Rasadravya, Jiva Nirlekhan, Anjan and Gandush and Kaval can be done. Padabhyanga daily can be done. Vyayam, Udvartan and Snan. Along with this, the Rasayans can be used, and also Sadvrutta, that is Achar Rasayan, is to be followed daily. So I think I have tried to cover the poster.
Thank you, Dr. Rudja.
Thank you, doctor.
Next, I invite Dr. Pradiksha Deepak for the poster presentation on the topic Parikartika. Dr. Pradiksha, are you there? Hello, Dr. Pradiksha, are you there? Hello, Dr. Pradiksha Deepak Gunnal, are you there?
Good evening.
Good evening, doctor.
Hello. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Voice is clear, doctor. I will share for you, doctor. Is the screen is visible, doctor?
Okay. एक minute, sir.
Okay. Hello, doctor. Is the screen is visible, doctor?
Good evening, everyone. My topic for presentation. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Audible, doctor.
My topic for presentation is Parikartika, a small disease but huge potential as a public health issue. Parikartika is nothing but a tear in the anal canal, beginning from the dentate line and extending up to the anal verge. Anal fissure is a breakdown in the continuation of the mucosal layer. In Ayurveda, we can correlate the fissure in ano as a Parikartika. In Ayurveda, in Brihatrays, Parikartika is not mentioned as a separate disease. It is mentioned as a sign and symptom of other diseases or procedures, complication of Ayurvedic procedures like Basti and Virechana. Causes of Parikartika.
According to Ayurveda, according to Acharya Sushruta, Parikartika is called as a complication when Kshinabala, Mrudukoshti, Mandagni, Ruksha, Prakriti person being given Ati Tikshna, Ati Ruksha, Ati Lavana and Ati Ruksha medicines, then Pitta and Vata get vitiated and it results in a Parikartika. According to Acharya Charak had described Parikartika as a complication of Panchakarma procedures like Virechan and Basti. When a person with Snigdha, Mrudukoshti, Amadoshi, Durbal, Gurukoshti, Kranta and Alpabala being given a strong Virechana medicine, then these medicines get expel out along with Amdosha, causing severe pain and bleeding. These conditions can collectively called as Parikartika. In Basti Vapar, Acharya Charak mentioned Parikartika when Mrudukoshti, Alpadoshi Yukta person being given Ruksha and Tikshna Basti in large amount, then vitiated dosha causes a condition called as Parikartika. Then types of Parikartika are according to Acharya uh, Kashyap in Garbhini Chikitsa Adhyay, they mention types of Parikartika as Vatas, Pittas and Kaphas Parikartika. According to modern, types of Parikartika are acute and chronic. Clinical features. According to Ayurveda, clinical features of Parikartika are Parisarvato Bhavena, Kruntativa, Chinativa, Bastyadini, iti Parikartika. Acharya Dalan had described these features as Parikartika as a Kartanvat and Chedanvat Vedana in the Basti, Nabhi and Guda Pradesh, etc. According to modern, clinical features of Parikartika are PR bleeding, pain during or after defecation. The nature of pain is severe in acute fissure and less severe in chronic with hard stool, constipation, PR digital examination and proctoscopy is not possible in acute fissure in Anu, whereas in chronic fissure, ulcer is felt with button-like depression, induration, and often sentinel piles. Causes management. According to Ayurveda, Acharya Sushruta mentioned Picha Basti and Snigdha Madhur and Shita Dravya as a treatment. According to modern, conservative management is adequate fluid intakes, fiber-rich diet, bulk forming agents like Bacillium bus, stool softeners like lactulose, local anesthetic agents like lignocaine 5% jelly or 2% jelly, or bath with betadine solution or MgSO4 powder, avoid constipation, surgical management like anal dilatation by Lord's procedure under general anesthesia, posterior sphincterectomy or fissurectomy, lateral anal sphincterotomy, excision of anal ulcer along with skin graft and anal advancement flap, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Next, I invite Dr. Masarao. Dr. Masarao.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Anjana,
My screen is
Anjana,
visible, ma'am.
हो गया मेरा.
Am I, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes,
doctor. Audible,
doctor.
doctor. Doctor, you have any problem with screen sharing, doctor?
No, sir. My screen is visible, sir.
Not visible, doctor. Not visible.
So, sir, there is a problem, sir. So please, you have
Okay, doctor. Okay,
share
doctor.
my
I will share for you, doctor. Doctor, is the screen is visible, doctor?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Good
doctor,
evening to
please
all of
start.
you. My name is Dr. Masaro Benga, Ruknidan, PG second year from Government Ayurveda College, Nanded. Today is my presentation on topic of biomarker of myocardial infarction. As we know, the myocardial infarction is a medical emergency condition in which loss of blood supply to heart muscle due to thrombus, embolism, or others. Here we have to see definition, identify blood chemicals that are elevated in cardiac damage. For example, myocardial infarction. These markers are not normally present in blood. What is a diagnostic importance? In a diagnosis of myocardial infarction, in most patients, ECG is not diagnostic. Their levels are correlated with infarction size and prognosis and monitoring of treatment. When patients come to our clinic with complaining of chest pain, discomfort, radiating pain to left arm or shoulder, we have to understand the cardiac emergency. In cardiac emergency, first we have to see ECG changes. But in some cases, ECG changes not occurs, like non-ST elevation MI. Then we go for cardiac marker. In acute coronary syndrome, if in ECG, ST elevation is absent, then or cardiac marker is not elevated, then it is unstable angina. In absence of ST segment and elevated cardiac marker, there is a non-ST elevation MI. If both of ST segment and cardiac marker both are elevated, then it is ST elevation MI. There is two types of biomarkers, that is absolute marker, and second one is current cardiac marker. In absolute marker, aspartate transaminase is also called as SGOT and lactate dehydrogenase. In current cardiac markers, myoglobin, CKMB, and troponin, that is TROP-T and TROP-I. In acute myocardial infarction, the myoglobin is elevated within 2 to 4 hours and its peak value at 8 to 10 hours, and its time to return within 24 hours. The CKMB is elevated after acute MI within 48 hours and its peak value at 12 to 24 hours and return to normal at 72 to 96 hours. Third one is troponin. Troponin after acute MI is elevated within 4 to 6 hours and its peak value at 12 hours and return to normal at 3 to 10 days. We have to see first myoglobin. Myoglobin is the oxygen binding low molecular weight binding protein of cardiac and skeletal muscle. Myoglobin rises early after EMI within 1 to 3 hours and it is currently earliest marker. But myoglobin of cardiac muscle not distinguished from skeletal muscle. Myoglobin levels rises after MI, open heart surgery, muscle injury, shock, so it is not a specific cardiac marker. Only it is done in early MI patient with chest pain. Its normal range in male 10 to 95 nanogram per milliliter and in female 10 to 65 nanogram per ml. Second one is creatinine kinase. Highest activity of CK is present in heart, brain, and striated muscle. Increase the CK in disorder of heart, that is myocardial infarction and myocarditis, disorder of central nervous system, head injury, cerebrovascular accident. In disorder of skeletal muscle, that is trauma, muscular dystrophy. Its normal range is CPK total 26 to 192 and CKMB is 0 to 3.60. There is the isoenzymes of CK, that is CKMM, CKMB, and CKBB. CKMM is predominantly in skeletal muscle and heart. CKMB is predominantly in cardiac muscle. CKBB predominant in brain. Total CK and CKMB are always elevated following MI, and reappearance of CKMB after 3 days indicate reinfarction. Third one is troponin. cardiac troponin T and cardiac troponin I are the most sensitive and specific markers of myocardial necrosis. Ideal markers for definitive diagnosis. There are three types of troponin, that is TROP-C, TROP-T, and TROP-I. Troponin I is most cardiospecific, and its normal range is troponin TROP-I 0 to 0.1 nanogram per milliliter, and TROP-T 0 to 0.2 nanogram per ml. Advantage of troponin T and I over CKMB: troponin levels in normal individual are very low or undetectable, and therefore raised levels are indicative of myocardial damage. Troponin regulates the interaction of actin and myosin filament during myocardial contraction. Troponin cannot diagnose reinfarction. Last one is cardiac marker for congestive cardiac failure, that is BNP, B-type natriuretic peptide. This is released from myocardial cell of left ventricle when wall is stress following accumulation of fluid due to heart failure, and it stimulates fluid excretion from the kidney, and it is emerging marker of congestive cardiac failure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir and ma'am.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, ma'am.
So next I invite Dr. Dhanraj Patel. I invite Dr. Dhanraj. I invite Dr. Dhanraj.
Dr. Dhanraj Patel, are you there?
So next I invite Dr. Geetanjali Ramesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Doctor, please start.
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am.
Okay, doctor. Your screen
I
is
start?
visible, doctor. Please start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Vaidya Gitanjali Ramesh Thakole, second year PG scholar, Rashashastra एवं Vaishajya Kalpana Department, guided by Professor Vaidya Kalyani Jadhav ma'am from Sumatibai Shah Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Hadapsar. My topic of presentation is review of Agastya Haritaki Avleha with respect to Pranvah Srotas. Abstract. Nowadays, respiratory infections are most commonly among the peoples. If these respiratory infections are neglected, it can lead to series of complications which may be life-threatening. Rasayan is specialized section of Ayurveda which mainly deals with the prevention of disease and promotion of the health. Agastya Haritaki Avleha is a popular Avleha Kalpana and also a popular Rasayan which is used in the Pranvah Srotas Vikaras like Kas, Shwas, Hikka, Kshay, etc. It is the formulation mentioned in Kas Rogadikar of Ashtanga Hruday and Charak Sanhita. Anti-allergic, antitussive, antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory effects of Agastya Haritaki Avleha is useful in disease related to Pranvah Srotas. In present paper, description about Pranvah Srotas Vyadhi, Kas, Shwas, Hikka with regards to their etiopathogenesis, classification, symptomatology, complications, and management are described. For this study, review of various classical texts, previous research works, etc. have been referred. Introduction. Rasashastra and Bhaishajya Kalpana is the subject in which various methods of preparation, various dosage forms, and herbo-mineral formulations are described. Agastya Haritaki Avleha is the semi-solid dosage form. The basic material required for this dosage form includes Drava Dravya, Madhur Dravya, Prakshep Dravya, and Kalka Dravya. Pranvah Srotas is one of the important system in the body. The channel or tracks in which pranvayu flows are called as the Pranvah Srotas. It controls and regulates the intellectual function, sensory and motor activities, cardiovascular function, and mental processes, and activities such as spitting, belching, respiration, and deglutition. Therefore, Pranvah Srotas stands for the system concerned with activities of pranvayu. According to Sushrutaracharya, when natural movement of pranvayu is hampered and is associated with kapha, then it leads to the origin of Shwasa Rog in the upward movement of Vata is enhanced. The nomenclature of Agastya Haritaki Avleha is based on its main ingredient Haritaki. According to Acharya Bhavprakash, Haritaki is indicated as per Rutu, that is season, with different Anupan Dravyas called as the Rutu Haritaki, and is effective in reducing severity and frequency of diseases and had no on and had effect on the quality of life. Agastya Haritaki Avleha is used in the management of diseases which are mainly Vata Kapha Pradhan and is indicated as main line of treatment in Shwas Kas Hikka, as well as used as a naimittic rasayan in various other diseases like Grahani, Aruchi, Arsha, etc. Causes of प्राणवस्रोतस क्षयात संधारणात रौक्षात व्यायामात शुदितस्य च प्राणवाहिनी दुष्यन्ति स्रोतसन्नैश्च दारुणैः. Reference from Charak Samhita Vimastan 5th अध्याय. First dhatu kshay, that is depletion of tissue. Second vega sandharan means forcibly withholding the natural body reflexes, for example stool, urine. Raukshat, intake of dry foods. Vyayamat shuditasya means excessive exercise in presence of hunger. Anya darun karya means doing such activities which are beyond one's physical capacity. प्राणव स्रोतस दृष्टी लक्षणास अतिसृष्टम अतिबद्धम कुपितम अल्पाल्पम अभीक्ष्णम वा दृष्टा प्राणवाहन्यस्य स्रोतांसी प्रदुष्टानिति विद्यात. रेफरेंस फ्रॉम चरक संहिता विमानस्थान 5th अध्याय. अतिसृष्टम, that is too prolonged breathing. Atibaddham, too short breathing. Kupitam shwasam means difficult breathing. Alpalpam shwasam means frequent and interrupted breathing. Abhikshanam shwasam means a highly disturbed breathing pattern looking scary. Sashabda means abnormal sound during breathing, and Sashul means painful breathing. Mool sthan of pranva srotas. According to Acharya Charak, Hruday and Mahasrotas, and according to Acharya Sushrut, Hruday and Rasavahini Dhamni are the mool sthan of pranva srotas. Samprapti of Shwas, pathogenesis, vitiation of Vata and Kapha, low digestive fire resulting in the production of arm, and weakness of respiratory channel are the main factor. The disease originates in the stomach and manifests in the respiratory channel. Pran and Udan types of Vat are vitiated. Aggravated Vat enters weak pranvasrotas and dislodge avlambak curve from there. Hence, bronchioles becomes very hard and rough and get constricted. At the same time, if there is excess formation of kapha and arm in intestine, avlambak curve also becomes slimy and sticky, and this causes obstruction in the pranvasrotas and resulting into shwas. Samprapti of Kas, Vayu impeded from below moves to the upper channel and attains the character of Udanvat and sticks in throat and chest. Further, it advances to all the orifices of head and filling them, producing the breaking pain and jerking in whole body, particularly causing strain and stiffness in Hanu, Manya, Akshi, Prushta, Ura, Pashva, and thus cough arises. Samprapti of Hikka, Annavah and Udakva Srotas Drushti leads to Prakop of Kapha in Amashay, leads to Vimargagaman of Kapha, leads to Pranva Srotas Drushti, that is obstruction in direction of Pranvayu. There is destruction in Pranvayu direction, then disturb the normal way of Shwasa and causes Hikka. Material and method, ingredients of Agastya Haritaki Avleha, Dashmul, Atmagupta, that is Kapikachu, शंखपुष्पी, शटी, बला, गजपिप्पली, अपामार्ग, पिप्पली मूल, चित्रक, भारंगी, पुष्करमूल, यव, हरितकी, पिप्पली चूर्ण, गुड, गोघृत, ती तेल, मधु, and jala. These are the images of ingredients. Method of preparation of Agastya Haritaki Avleha. The Kwad Dravyas from Dashmul to Pushkarmul are coarsely powdered and kept in a vessel. Then 15.36 liter of water is added and Kwat is prepared, reducing it to 1/4. Yava and Haritaki Pottali is immersed by suspension as in Dola Yantra, and mixture of Yava and Haritaki is boiled till Yava becomes soft. Pottali is open and Yava is discarded. Jaggery and Haritaki is added to the decoction and boiled to the required pak. After pak, Gruta and Taila is added along with the Pippali Churna and allowed to cool, and finally honey is added. The Siddhi Lakshanas of Avleha are Tantumatvam, Apsumajjam, Sthirata, Pidito Mudra, Gandhavarna, Rasodbhava. These are the images of methods of preparation of Agastya Haritaki Avleha. Rasaguna Virya Vipak of ingredients. Most of the ingredients of Agastya Haritaki Avleha are Katutikta Kashaya Rasatmak, Ushna Viryatmak, and Katu Vipaki, and Ushna Tikshna Ruksha Gunatmak. These are the Latin names and Doshagnata of the ingredients. Most of the ingredients are Kapha Vatshamak, and some are Tridoshagna. Properties: Rasa Katutikta Kashaya Madhur Rasatmak, Guna Ruksha Tikshna, Vipak Katu, Virya Ushna, Doshagnata, Tridoshagna, mainly Vata Kapha Shamak, and Rogagnata, Kas, Shwas, Hikka, Kshay, Arsha, Grahani, Rudrog. Mode of action: Pranava Srotas involves three dosh, especially Vata and Kapha. Agastya Haritaki Avleha contains Haritaki as the main ingredient. Is Ruksha, Laghu, Kashai Pradhan Pancharas, except Lavan, Madhur Vipaki, Ushnaviryatmak, and Rasayan and Vata Kafahar. Haritaki has been well reported for its antioxidant, anti-mutagenic, anti-carcinogenic, anti-aging, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-diabetic, cardio and hepatoprotective, anti-ulcer, and wound healing properties. Its Katu Tikta will help to increase Agni and does Am Pachan and acts as a Rucha. It is considered it is best Rasayan Dravya in Pranava Srotas, especially in condition of Shwas and Kas. It helps in removing the obstruction in Srotas with the help of Ushna Virya and Vatanuloman. Management of Pranava Srotas Dushti. The vitiation of Pranava Srotas should be managed on the lines of treatment of Shwas and Kas Rog. When the symptoms of gastrointestinal tract like loss of appetite, indigestion, bloating, anorexia, regurgitation, constipation, etc. are found on the backdrop of vitiation of Pranava Srotas, the alimentary tract should be effectively treated. In the diseases explained as Shwas, somewhat same symptoms are observed as that of the Dushti of Pranava Srotas. Thus, the treatment is same for both conditions. Discussion. The basic method of preparation of avleya includes four components. First, Drava Dravya, which helps in extraction of active principles in the form of quat. Madhur Dravya, which is responsible for palatability and also acts as a preservative. Sneha Dravya, to keep the avleya soft and also helps in preservation. And Sanskarasya Anuvartanat Gun and Yogvahi properties, means it absorbs in all Sukshma Srotas of the body. And fourth, Prakshep Dravya, it enhances the taste as well as increase the bioavailability of the drug. And in this, Pippali Churna is used as a Prakshep Dravya, which is Vata Kapha Shamak and acts as an antibacterial. Regarding Avleha, two more points are kept in consideration. First, mode of administration, that is licking, and second is high percentage of sugar in the medicament. Both these factors facilitates the oral absorption. Due to its mode of administration, that is licking, it produces soothing effect to throat and relieving the local irritation. Conclusion. The literature study revealed that Agastya Haritaki Avleha works at various levels, including Dhatu, Agni, and Srotas, improving Vyadhi Kshamata of the body, that is immunity. Shwas, Kas are the Pradhan Vyadhi of Pranava Srotas and most prominent symptoms in COVID-19. Agastya Haritaki Avleha eliminates Srotorod present in the body channels leading to the Rudya and Jananendriyas and opens up the channels of their nutrition. As a result, by nourishing dhatus, it increases their strength, it digests and excretes malas accumulated in circulatory channels, it facilitates nutrition of dhatus by removing obstruction, and therefore it is used in Vata Kapha Pradhan Vyadhi and is effective in diseases of Pranava Srotas. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Next, I invite Dr. Yashwant Kumar.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, doctor.
Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Please start.
Can I start with my presentation?
Sure,
Sure,
doctor.
doctor,
Please start, doctor.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, doctor. Visible, doctor.
Myself, Dr. Yashwant Kumar, PG Scholar, Department of Shalyatantra, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Bangalore. I'm presenting a paper on importance of Ayurapta Chikitsa and the management of Rana under the guidance of Dr. Vasudha A, Professor, Department of Shalyatantra, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Bangalore. Coming to the introduction, in Ayurvedic classics, a special emphasis is given for the management of Rana. Acharya Sushruta in his treatise Sushruta Samhita has elaborately explained regarding Rana and Rana Upakramas. He mentioned Shashti Upakrama for treating the Rana according to its different stages with specific features. The definition of Rana goes like this: Runoti yasmad rude api ranavastu na nashyati adeha dharana tasmad Rana iti uchyate budaihi. The word Rana is defined as the condition where tissue undergoes destruction. After healing of the Rana, it leaves the scar. It may be sometimes hypertrophied or elevated or depressed compared to surrounding skins. There may be a discoloration, hypo or hyperpigmentation, excess or no hair growth over the scar. Contractures sometimes develop, which result in some sorts of abnormalities. In order to treat such abnormalities, Sushruta has mentioned Vaikrutapaha Upakramas. Vaikrutapaha means removing or preventing the change. It is correction of all sorts of abnormalities in Rana and Ranavastu after its healing. While explaining the Chikitsa of Ranashopa, Sushruta Acharya mentioned Vaikrutapaha is the seventh measure to treat Ranashopa. It is Saptamam Vaikrutapaham. Commenting on this, Dalhana says Vaikrutapaha is nothing but restoring the normalcy of the skin color, hair, etc. on the scar tissue. He says Vaikrutapaham miti Savarna Karana Roma Sanjananadi. Among the Shashti Upakramas, Vaikrutapaha Chikitsa includes mainly 7 procedures. It is Utsadana, Avasadana, Pandukarma, Krishna Karma, Pratisarana, Roma Sanjanana, Loma Paharana. According to few acharyas, Vaikrutapaha includes from Utsadana to Rakshavidana. It includes sum of around 26 Upakramas. Mechanism of wound healing. The process of wound healing is vastly different when comparing fetuses and adults. Fetal wound healing typically has minimal to no scarring, little to no inflammation, thought to be due to lack of myofibroblasts, rapid epithelialization, high proportions of type 3 collagen, fast fibroblast migration, and less degranulation by fibroblasts. Under normal adult conditions, wound healing and tissue repair occur in 4 stages. It is hemostasis, inflammatory stage, proliferative stage, and remodeling stage. Coming to the Utsadana, it is nothing but stimulating the granulation tissue. Utsadana Nimna Ranasya Unnati Karanam. Utsadana means encouraging granulation tissue formation in depressed wounds. It is indicated for dried wounds with deep and poor granulation tissue. It is Parishushkanam Gambiranam Alpamamsanam Rananam Utsadanam. The process involves various applications like local applications of Apamarga, Ashwagandha with ghee or application of medicated ghee prepared out of Apamarga and Ashwagandha. Ghee mainly because of its lipoprotein improves skin elasticity, improves healing process by promoting granulation tissue and reduces scar tissue formation. Intake of protein from animal source in the form of meat and consuming meat of carnivorous animals. It is mamshinam cha mamsi bakshayet and remaining cheerful. These helps in promotion of growth of healthy granulation tissue for faster healing. Acharya Vagbhata has mentioned application of paste of Negroda, Padmaka, Ashwagandha, Bala, and Tila for the purpose of stimulation of healthy granulation tissue in deep-seated dry wounds with poor granulation tissue. He also advised to take proteins from animal sources in the form of meat and remaining cheerful. Avasadana. Avasadanam Unnataranasya Nimnatvakaranam. Avasadanam is medicinal cauterization of granulation tissue in excess formation. It is indicated in raised wound with soft granulation tissue. Utsanna Mrudumamsanam Avasadanam Itam. Avasadana is carried out by applying powder of kasisa mixed with honey, and in case of elevated wounds which are katina, kandu yukta, and chira is applied with alkali. Show that is kshara karma to be done. In this procedure, there is a uniform scraping of overgrown tissues up to the skin level. Acharya Vagbhata has mentioned application of buds of Jati Mukula, Kasisa, Manova, Pura, and Agnika for the purpose of Avasadana. Krishna Karma, it is inducing the hyperpigmentation. It is indicated in Durudatvat Shuklanam Krishna Karnam Hitam Bhavet. Krishna Karma is indicated in Durudatvat Shuklanam. White scar caused by improper healing. The treatment involves application of paste of ash of hoop of domesticated and marshy animals mixed with oil prepared from fruit of Ballataka by Adahapatana method. Here, the hypopigmentation of the skin is removed, restoring normal skin complexion. Pandukarma, it is inducing hypopigmentation. Durudatva Kasisa, ST Madhu, and honey. These are made into paste and applied. And apart from this, another remedy is pulp is removed from the fruit of the pitta and filled with goat's urine, Kasisa, Rochana, Tutta, Aratala, Manashila, Bamboo,
Hello, Dr. Yashwanta Kumar. Hello, Dr. Yashwanta Kumar. Are you there? I think it was some network problem. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Srenik Jain for the paper presentation on the topic Vidrati. Dr. Srenik Jain, are you there?
I am audible, sir.
Yes, Doctor, audible. Please share the screen, Doctor.
Whether my screen is visible, sir?
No, Doctor, not visible, Doctor.
Now, sir.
It's visible, doctor.
Yes, Doctor,
Please
visible,
start.
Doctor.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. My topic is Vidradi. I am Dr. Srenik Jain, second year PG scholar, Department of Shelltantra, JMC Bangalore. And the topic is Vidradi. Coming to introduction, Vidradi is the Raktarashti Vikara, which undergoes rapid separation followed by Puya formation. Coming to reference, we can find the mainly in two samhitas. That is Acharya Rukshitha explained in 10th, explaining Amapakvashani idea, that is 10 Adhishthana. And Acharya Charaka, while explaining Raktavaha Soto Vikaras, he explained Vidradi Roga. Next, coming to Nirukti. Nirukti Shiga Vidhaitvat Vidradi, the one which separates easily, fast, is called as Vidradi. Coming to Samana Samprapti, due to Nidana Senan, there will be Kupita doshas, and which leading to production of Twak, Rakta, Mamsa, and Meda, Asti leading to Shota, and finally leading to Vidradi. Coming to the types of Vidradi, we have two types, Bahya Vidradi and Abhyantara Vidradi. And coming to Samanya Lakshana, Mahamulam, Rujavantam, Vrutam, Vapyatva, Ayataha, which is deep-rooted, painful, and round or elongated. These are the Samanya Lakshanas of Vidradi. Coming to Samanya Chikitsa of Vidradi, we have two classifications based on Pakva and Apakva Avastha. In Pakva Avastha, we have to do Shofar Chikitsa, then Rakta Mokshana. In Pakva Avastha, we have to do Vedana, Isravana, after the Shodhana and Ropana. Next, coming to Yogaratnakara's reference of treatment of Vidradi, that is Jaloka Patanam Chastam Sarvasmineva Vidradi to Vireko Lagvanam Svedam Chittotaram Vinaha. These are the treatment explained by Yogaratnakara. Next, coming to treatment of Abhyantara Vidradi has given very important in Sushruta Samhita, that is Antar Vidradi is the Vidradi Veda which develops in relation with Kosta. Coming to Aharaja Nidanas, these are some of the Aharaja Nidanas mentioned by Sushruta Acharyas, like Guru Anna, Asatmya Anna, Viruddha Anna, Sushka, Samtushta, Vidahi, Ruksha, Tyushna, Ajirna, Bhojana. These are the Aharaja Nidanas. Coming to Viharaja Nidanas, Ati Vyayama, Maituna, Vega Sandarana, Ati Satmya, Ati Bara, and these are some of the Viharaja Nidanas. Coming to the Sthana Vishesha Lakshanas, all the three acharyas have mentioned 10 Lakshanas, but Kukshi, but Jataka explains Kukshi, Pashva, Antashula. Apart from that, all the symptoms are, all the Lakshanas are same. Coming to Abhyantara Vidradi Chikitsa, Varunadiganak Apakve Abhyantara Otite, Ushakadi Prativapam Pibet Sukharam Naram. In case of Abhyantara Vidradi, Varunadigana Kashaya added with Ushakadigana should be given. Coming to Siravada in Abhyantara Vidradi, Vama Parshva Kaksha Stanantarayo, Antar Vidradior, Parshva Shulecha. In Abhyantara Vidradi, Parshva Shula, Siravada should be done in between axilla and breast of the left flank. Coming to role of Paniyakshara, पानीयस्तु गरगुल्म उदर अग्निसंग अजीर्ण अरोचकानाः शर्कर अश्मरि अभ्यंतर विद्रदि क्रिमि विशार्ष सोपेजते. This is spreading Charapaka Vidya Adhyaya by Sushtacharya. Next coming to Sadhya Sadhyata, whether the vidrati is ripen or large, small or unripened, the option is located in Marmasthana. In these 5 conditions, it is Kashta Sadhya, explained by Acharya Sushtacharya. Next coming to some of the yogas explained by Sushruta, they are Yavagoduma Lepa, Dashamuli Lepa, Varnadi Lepa, Vidrati Shotaharo Lepa, Vidrati Dashamuli Kwata Parisheka. Coming to the abscess, definition goes like this: a circumscribed collection of pus or cavity formed by liquefaction of the necrosis within the solid tissue. Usually, their gross classification is 3 types of abscesses: pyogenic abscess, pyemic abscess, and cold abscess. And features are explained below. Next, coming to the pus. Pus is actually collection of a polymorphonuclear leukocytes from which the proteolytic enzymes causes liquefaction of the tissues. And the composition of the pus is dead and dying neutrophil, plasma proteins, and liquefied tissue debris. These are the composition of the pus. Coming to the organisms gain entry to form abscess, there are 4 classifications: direct infection from outside due to penetrating wound, local extension from adjacent focus infection, lymphatics, bloodstream, or hematogenous. Coming to the clinical features of any types of inflammation, we have rubor, calor, dolor, and tumor. These are the prime symptoms in any case of the inflammation. Coming to the complication of the inflammation, that is Vidrati, that is bacteremic spread, impaired function, antibioma, chronic draining of sinuses, and rupture into adjacent tissues. Coming to the investigations, we have a triad of investigations we have to follow for treating abscess, that is blood investigation, routine blood investigation, isotope scanning using gallium, and X-ray, USG, MRI scan, and scanning of the concerned part. These are the triad of investigations in case of any types of abscess. Coming to treatment, where there is a pus, you have to let it out. If it is localized, then you have to drain to send the sample to pus culture and sensitivity. Then suitable antibiotics should be given. Then if it is non-localized, then you have to give conservative treatment and suitable antibiotic has to be given. This Hilton's method is usually followed by modern surgeons to drain the abscess, mainly in case of associated in the legs, arms, or any abdominal part. Filter method is followed. Then coming to different types of abscesses, coming to brain, first one is brain abscesses. It is a pus-filled swelling in the brain caused by bacterial infection due to brain injury. The suitable choice of antibiotic in case of brain abscess is ceftriaxone, cefotaxime, and metronidazole, and CT-guided serostatic aspiration. These are the treatment should be followed in brain abscess. Coming to the gluteal injection abscess, because due to lack of hygienicity while giving injection, the main choice of antibiotic in case of gluteal injection abscess is amoxicillin, penicillin, and promethazine injection. Coming to the breast abscess, mainly seen in breast feeding women, and caused due to staphylococcus infection bacteria. The drug of choice in breast abscess is clindamycin, doxycycline, and augmentin. Coming to the gingival abscess, mainly caused due to injury due to teeth or any foreign body. And main choice of antibiotic in case of penicillin is penicillin and amoxicillin. Coming to the lung abscess, the treatment in case of lung abscess is a little bit different compared to other types of abscess. Here we use combination of beta-lactam and inhibitor of beta-lactamase. For example, ampicillin plus sulbactam, amoxicillin plus clavulanic. Like this, you have to use the combination of the antibiotics. Coming to liver abscess, in case of liver abscess, metronidazole is the ideal drug of choice of liver abscess, whether it may be pyogenic or caused due to entamoeba histolytica. Metronidazole is the main drug of choice of antibiotic. Coming to perianal abscess, we see most commonly in cell department, caused due to infection or blocked anal glands. Main choice of antibiotic is ciprofloxacin 500 mg IV 12 hourly and metronidazole 500 mg 8 hours. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Shanik Jain. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Dhanraj Patel for the paper presentation. Dr. Dhanraj Patel.
Hello, good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Audible, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, doctor, visible. Please start, doctor.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Dhanraj Patel, PG scholar, Department of Shalatantra, CBMK, Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Belgavi. Here's my today I am presenting a clinical case presentation on fistula and nano. Is the detail of the patient. Patient is around 45-year male. Is married Hindu and businessman. The chief complaint of the patient is pain and pus discharge from anal verge since 1 year, and associated complaints are itching since 1 year and pain and tenderness over the perianal region. In the history of the present illness, patient is having 45-year age, that is male, a known case of diabetes mellitus, and no history of hypertension or any other chronic illness. And the patient comes with the complaint of pain and discharge from the anal verge since 1 year. He had also history of the same from 3 years. He took a Ayurvedic medication. Symptoms subside. Again, the symptoms increase since 1 year. The patient also having history of allergic reaction like sneezing. It is since 10 years back, and he is also he's coming our OPD the further management. History of past illness. He is having known case of diabetes mellitus and no history of the hypertension or any other chronic illness. And patient also having a road traffic accident and fracture of the right lower tibia. And surgical history of the hydrocele since 14 years back and varicose since 10 years back. And the family history of the history of diabetes mellitus and hypertension, both mother and father since 13 back. The personal history is appetite is good, bowel is normal, bladder is also normal, sleep is sound. He's taking a veg diet and there's no addiction of the patient. And drug allergy, there's a no significant drug allergy, and he also having allergy to the conductant and ingested inhalant. And rogi pariksha of the patient is nadi, sarpagati, jiva is alip, tamal is prakrit, mutra is around 4 to 5 times a day. Sab is prakrit, spars is prakrit, is also prakrit, and prakrit is prakrit. And dasit pariksha is prakrit, prakrit is vat, and vikrit is vat kafaj. Sar is madhyam, sahanan is madhyam, man sat, satma, ahar, vyayam, or vaisakti is also madhyam. The general examination of the patient is conscious, well oriented, and appearance is normal, and build, average, gait is normal. Almost everything is normal of the patient, and the adhesion is absent. And neck veins is not engorged, lymph node is not palpable, edema is absent, and hair, skin, nails, breath order normal, speech is also normal, expression, attitude normal. Height of the patient is 167 centimeter, weight is 72 kg. And the vitals are the pulse rate is 94 beats per minute, rhythm regular, pulse and volume is non-volumic, and all peripheral pulses palpable. Blood pressure is around 120/90 in the left arm taken in the supine position, and respiratory system rate is 18 per minute, and temperature is also febrile. And abdominal examination, after we'll do abdominal examination, there is a no deformity is there. And the respiratory examination also normal. The cardiovascular examination is also normal. And CNS is well conscious and well oriented. And here is the local examination. We do rectal examination inspection. External opening is seen around the perineal region at the 5 o'clock position. Hard growth and pus discharge at 5 o'clock position. Normal color of the skin, no congestion, no bleeding present. And distal rectal examination, tone of the sphincter is normal. Internal dipping present at the 6 o'clock. No bleeding, no fissure, temperature is normal, tenderness is mild tenderness, and proctoscopy is not done. And here's the some hematology and biochemistry report of the patient, which shows the blood sugar level is around 70 mgdl, and ESR is also a little high. And the radiological examination is there. Chest X-ray is normal, and ECG is also normal. Management of the patient. Patient got admitted on 10 1 and 2022, and Further pre-op measures has been taken, like consent, anesthesia, surgical and OT requisition has done. He also done the preparation of the perineal region done. Open IV line, by mouth since 5 and TT is Dilocon all done. And further antibiotic and antacid will be given. And for the surgery is under the local anesthesia. The physician fitness has done, and the operative procedure is fistulotomy is done. The post-operative advice is we have watch for soakage, and further antibiotic has given. And for the pain management, we have given the tramadol and injection metrozole 100 ml IV we have done, and tablet Lizard, that is diclofenac, we have given to the patient. And the pulse rate is around. If pulse rate is going down, then we have to add atropine 0.6 mg for that. And improvement and follow up the patient. There's no soakage after post-operative, and the wound healthy and mild stretch. On the mild stretching, patient complaining over the operative side, and swelling also reduced. The post-operative image of the patient, that is mild inflammation, and there is no soakage or no bleeding is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanraj Patel. Next, I invite Dr. Yashwanta Kumar, H4, to continue the presentation. Dr. Yashwanta Kumar.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Dr. Audible.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Due to poor network issues, I couldn't present it at the last time. I'll be continuing my presentation. Pratisarana, removing fibrous skin by rubbing. Pratisarana refers to application or rubbing the medicated paste to the body part. In this procedure, equal quantity of shells of hen's egg, kukkuta and kapala, kataka, maduka, samudra mandaki and mani churna pounded in mutra and made into pills, which after rubbing is applied as a paste. By this procedure, the fibrous skin is peeled off uniformly without any adverse effects like skin rashes or discolorations. Roma Sanjanana, this is the method to simulate the hair growth over the scar tissue. Roma Sanjanana is adopted for hair growth. As per classical reference, burnt ashes of ivory with the best quality Rasanjana is made into a paste and is applied after mixing with goat's milk. It is told that by this process, hair grows even on the palms. Ash made from the skin, hair, hoof, or bone of four-legged animals made into a paste and applied over the affected area. Kasisa, tender leaves of Naktamala Pallava, that is Karanja, powdered in a juice of Kapitta Rasa, should be applied as a paste. It also promotes hair growth. By this treatment, hair follicles are stimulated with strong hair roots uniformly all over the applied surfaces. There are very least chances of recurrence of baldness. Lomapaharana, this is the method of removing the hair growth, excess of hair growth over the rana. Lomaparana is indicated in wounds which do not heal properly due to presence of hairs. Excessive hairs prevents complete healing of the ulcer. Here, hairs are removed using the kshura, that is knife, or the scissor, or the forceps. Conch shell powder, harata, that is shankachurna, haratala, to be powdered in shukta and later made into a paste and applied over the affected area. Apart from this, ballataka taila along with the snuhi kshira can also be applied. The one more recipe which is told for Lomaparana is kadali as well as dirga runta and haratala, saindava lavana, seeds of shami pasted with cold water and applied. The ashes collected after burning the taila of Aghara Godika, Ramba, Haratala, seeds of Ingudi mixed with oil and water and dried in sun, made into a paste and applied. By this procedure, unwanted hair is removed easily without pain and discomfort. Further, discoloration of the skin can be prevented. Conclusion, Acharya Sushruta has given great emphasis on the Vaikrutapa Chikitsa for the cosmetic repair of the formed scar in the process of healing and to minimize the cosmetic disfigurement. When these measures are employed, which result in cosmetically acceptable scar, hence Vaikrutapa Chikitsa has a great role in the curative as well as the cosmetic aspect in Rana Chikitsa. Now it is a challenge for present situation to explore it fully and employ these techniques in managing the Rana in view of cosmetic importance and resolving its lacunas. There is no doubt that if these procedures are properly adopted in practice, it could be bring a lot of positive approach among the needy, as there is a demand for natural method and principles in keeping the skin beautiful by minimizing abnormalities or disfigurement which are resulted by Rana. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Next, I invite Dr. Monali Gansham Khune for the poster presentation on the topic diarrhea. Dr. Monali, are you there?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Doctor. Audible,
Am I
Doctor.
audible?
Audible, Doctor. Please share the screen, Doctor.
Wait a minute, sir. Sir, there is a problem. Please share my PPT, sir.
1 minute, Doctor.
ಚೇತು ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಸ.
Doctor, please start, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Monali Gansham Khune, second year MD student, Komarvidya department from SMBT Ayurveda College and Hospital, Dhamangao, Nashik. The topic of my poster presentation is diarrhea under the panel of Komarvidya. What is diarrhea? Is the condition of having at least 3 loose or liquid bowel movement each day. Causes: bacteria, viruses, parasitic organisms, reaction to certain medications, alcohol abuse, interaction or allergens to foods. Symptoms: a large volume of stools, dizziness, headache, nausea, abdominal cramps, bloating, fever, and dehydration. How to treat the diarrhea? Consume high sodium food and liquids, drink more fluids, consume oralites. Nutrition: the soluble fibers, barley, oats, beans, fries, prunes, and sweet potatoes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. So next I invite Dr. Sneha KJ.
Good evening, ma'am.
I
Am I
invite
audible?
Dr. Sneha.
Yes, Doctor.
Good evening,
Audible, Doctor.
You are audible.
Yeah. Let me share the PPT. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, Doctor. Screen is visible. Please start, Doctor.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sneha KJ, first year PG scholar from Department of Shalyatantra, JMC Bengaluru. On the top, I'm going to present on the topic of brief review on different types of Dahanopakaranas used in Agni Karma, guided by Dr. Ahalya S, Principal, JMC Bengaluru. Abstract: Agni Karma is one of the important and superior Anushastras explained by Acharyas. It ensures no recurrence of the Vyadhi. Agni Karma is one of the procedures which gives instant relief from the pain by balancing local Kapha and Vata doshas without any untoward effect. Acharyas have mentioned different Dahanopakaranas such as Pippali, Ajashakrat, Kodanta, Sharashalaka, Jambavoshta, Itraloha, Kshaudra, Guda, Sneha, etc., which are classified according to the site implemented for the treatment. Selection of the particular Dahanopakaranas plays a major role in the treatment of the disease. Introduction. Acharya Sushruta mentioned Agni Karma as a Pradhana Karma among all the procedures because the diseases which are not cured by Bheshaja, Shastra and Shara Karma can be cured by Agni Karma. And the diseases treated by Agni Karma never recurs. Agni Karma plays a major role in management of pain. Materials used for Agni Karma is called as Dahanopakaranas. Various types of Dahanopakaranas are mentioned by different acharyas according to the site implemented for Agni Karma, and according to Acharya Sushruta, for Dagda, Pippali, Aja Shakrit, Kodanta, Sharashalakas are being used, and for Mamsa Dagda, Chamba Oshta and Itara Lohas are told, and for Siras Nayu Asti Sandhi Dagda, Sneha Guda and Shaudra is being told. According to Acharya Vagbhata, along with Pippali, Aja Shakrit, Kodanta, Sharashalaka, Varti and Surya Kanta are being added, and for Mamsa Dagda, Jamba Oshta, Suchi, Shalaka, Ghrita, Guda, Madhu, Vasa, Taila, Madhu Chishta and Lohadi is being told, and the same has been told for Seras Nayasti Sandhi Dagda also. Acharya Dalhana has elaborated the meaning of some of these Dahanopakaranas. Aja Shakrit, he has told as Chaga Purisha, that is dried feces of the goat, and Jambu Oshta is having the Mukhagra, that is the functional end similar to that of Jambu Phala, and which is made up of Krishna Pashana. And Itara Loha here indicates other metallic instruments which are made up of Tamra and Rajata. And Shaudra Gudas Cheti includes not only honey and jaggery, but also includes substances like Sarjarasa and Madhuchishta. These are the images of the Dahanopakaranas used. Pippali, that is Piper longum, dried form is used, and Aja Shakrit, Godanta, that is teeth of the dead cow, and next comes Shara Shalaka and Jamba Oshta, which are the metallic instruments which differs based on the sharpness of the tip. For example, Shara, which is having the tip pointed, whereas Shalaka compared to that of Shara, that is arrow, tip is somewhat wider, and Jambu Oshta tip will be wider than Shalaka also. And next are the liquid substances, especially the sticky liquid substances as are being explained. That is Kshaudra, Guda, Sneha and Madhuchishta, and Suryakanta is explained by Acharya Vagbhata, which is one of the Uparatnas. The materials mentioned here are of various origin and forms like plant and animal products, metallic instruments, liquid substances, etc. These materials are classified and selected according to the site as well as considering the specific heat capacity, that is ability of the material to retain and transmit the heat energy. Substances which can retain less heat energy and can transmit lesser amount of heat energy are indicated for skin, that is for Chakdagda, whereas the opposite, that can retain more heat energy and can transmit the more energy, are used for muscles, tendons and ligaments. And here are some of the specific heat capacity of some of the materials. Here we can see that water has more specific heat capacity. And by simple definition, specific heat capacity means amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a substance by 1 unit. It can also mean the capacity of that substance to transfer the heat to the tissues. So among these, when compared to the metallic instruments, the liquid substances, that is honey and water, are having higher specific heat capacity. Retention and transmission of temperature among various Dahanopakaranas is being evaluated in recent studies, which revealed certain outcomes. Of all the materials, Pippali was the one to have minimum temperature, and highest temperature was found on Panchadhatu Shalaka, that was nearly about 500 degrees centigrade. Average temperature fall was different in all the Dahanopakaranas, and about 60 seconds, all the Dahanopakaranas were near about 70 degrees centigrade, except for Panchadhatu Shalaka, which had higher temperature.
By this, we understand the highly scientific approach towards choosing the specific Dahanopakaranas for intensity of action needed according to the depth of the desired Dagda. The Pipali, Aja, and Godanta are having less latent heat and hence can be used for Tvak Dagda, whereas Itra Lohas, including Pancha Loha Shalakas, are having moderate latent heat, hence used for Mamsa Dagda. And Snigdha Dravyas, that is the liquid substances, owing to its higher latent heat, as they are having the sticky liquids are having high retention of heat, can affect a greater fluctuation in the temperature of tissue surface and also that of the subsequent layers. Conclusion: Agni Karma is a very common parasurgical procedure practiced mainly in pain management without owing to the recurrence of the disease. It gives instant relief from the pain by balancing local kapha and vata dosha. Selection of the Hanupakaranas according to the sthana by acharyas is a highly scientific approach by taking into consideration the specific heat capacity of the materials and the tissues involved. Among all the mentioned materials, Pipali is the one which has the lowest specific heat capacity, making it suitable for superficial burns. And there is gradual increase in Ajasakrita and other material in metallic instruments like Shara and Shalaka. All liquid dravyas are having higher latent heat than others, which is beneficial in deeper tissue burns. So the selection of the Hanupakaranas for Agni Karma has to be done based on these parameters mentioned in the classics for successful management as well as for the evading the recurrence of the diseases. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sneha. Next, I invite Dr. Gopal Lohande for the paper presentation. Dr. Gopal Lohande, are you there?
Sir, is there.
Okay, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Okay. Is this visible my screen?
Yes, doctor, visible, doctor. Please start, doctor.
Good evening to all. Today I am dealing with topic of different energy sources in proctology. Energy sources in proctology. Myself, Dr. Gopal Lokhande, second year PG Scholar, Department of Shalatantra. My guide is R.C. Ekundi. My co-guide is K.H. Pachanavar. Electrical surgery and cautery. Electrical surgery is the use of radio frequency alternating current to vaporize the coagulation tissue. Cautery is the dissection of denaturation tissue by the passive transfer, heat or application of causative substance. Energy sources in surgical use: electrical, organ beam coagulation, infrared coagulator, laser, cryotherapy, and beam. Biological effect of the electricity. The three types of effect produce the on tissue electrical energy. Electoral effect, this type of reaction is not conductive to life and it is produced by either low frequency AC or DC. Faradic effect is produced by high frequency alternating current up to 20 kHz, cause stimulation of nerve ending and muscles and is commonly used to psychotherapy and neurological, sometimes by general surgeon during the parotid surgery to detect the branches of the facial nerves and etc. The thermal effect is produced by high frequency alternating current more than 300 kHz, also called a radio frequency AC. This is the radio frequency machine. The principle of the electrosurgery: when an electrical current passes through conductor, it is the energy appears as heat. The heat is produced depends on intensity of current, waveform of current, electrical property of tissue through which is the current passes, the relative size of electrolytes. The mainly two types of circuits: monopolar ditherapy and bipolar ditherapy. This is the techniques of images monopolar and bipolar. The next is monopolar ditherapy is electricity from the USU. The current enters the body of the patient. Despite electrolytes, the returns the ASU. The advantage and disadvantage: mainly the disadvantage is easy to use for tissue dissection, both cutting and coagulation, greater tissue penetration, area of coagulation bipolar. Then disadvantage is large volume of tissue injured can interfere with the pacemakers, required distance return electrolyte. Bipolar ditherapy. The two active electrolytes as the limb of forceps, the current flow between them and tissue held between the limbs. Advantages: decrease thermal injury to surrounding tissue, work well in the saline. In the patient, the face marker decrease the risk of capacitive coupling the injuries. Then disadvantage, the more skill and time of is required, coagulation only, no dissection capabilities. The tissue effect of the electrosurgery, vaporization, cutting, dissection and coagulation, fabrication, high voltage modulated the current with short duty cycle. The variable that affect the tissue effect of radio frequency current are as follows. Next, this image is fistula, the damaging external tissues in the help of radio frequency cautery. Next, coagulation, sealing of blood vessels, heating effect of current, cell death by dehydration, protein denutrition, bleeding is stopped by dissolution wall of blood vessel, coagulation and plasma protein, right, the strengthen dead tissue, stimulation of clotting mechanism. This is cutting. Next, when sufficient heat is applied to the tissue, rapid heating of the cell, the massive increase in the volume of intracellular content and lysis of the cell takes place. Cell water explodes into the stem. Cut current is continuous waveform caused by high current as a low voltage. Complications: endogenous burns, exogenous burns, and pseudo burns, active electrolyte trauma, then current diversion, alternate ground side burns, direct coupling, indirect coupling, capacity of coupling, then safety precautions. The patient's the plate used to recommended by the manufacturer. The patient plate must always applied by covering the patient with it is the entire area best as possible. Next one is laser. Light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation coherence. The wave patterns of the light energy being emitted in the laser or orderly and similar. Laser pure color of light are always of the same wavelength and energy level. The laser light travels with the all its wave bound tightly together as a parallel beam in the space. This is a laser operative techniques. Next one, this is the external hand, internal hemorrhage, inserted optical fiber and tissues burning. The help of laser optical fiber. Next one is surgical effects of the laser due to localized heating when the light is absorbed by tissue. As tissue is being heat balanced with white coagulation, then shrivels as a dissects and the finally turns the steam vaporized above 100 degrees Celsius. The lasers produce heat that localized and produce the desired surgical effects with the associated hemostasis. There are 5 types of lasers primarily being used in the surgical applications. Laser beam can use either continuous of mode or the pulse mode. Next one, argon beam coagulation. Use high frequency oscillating the current to generate coagulating heat. Uses spray ionized argon gas as the active electrolyte rather than metallic blade. Consists of the current generator, grounding pad and handling active electrolyte. The device is activated by the foot pedal that initiates the flow of pressured ion gas through the end of the handled unit. Once a solid column gas connects the handled activities electrolyte to the patients, the electrical current across the argon gas of the tissue. This is a beam gas instruments, the picture, and handheld units are held like pencil with the end of directly pointed with the tissue from the distance 1 to 2 centimeter. The foot pedal is activated by the same person holding the active electrolyte. A jet of argon gas emitted from the end of the handle unit, completing the circuit between argon beam coagulator and the patient. The cautery current is delivered the surface of the tissue contact with organ stem. There is no physical contact between the active electrolyte and the tissue. Advantages: lack of physical contact means the no adherence of the active electrolytes of the tissue allows the improved escape intensity. No need clean chart from the instruments. And disadvantage: lack of perception, expensive both with unit itself, well consumption organ gas, very limited dissecting tool. Then next one is infrared coagulator. Generator coagulate heat energy infrared radiation. The heat energy produced by the infrared irradiation cause rapid heating of the tissue in the contact with the crystal, and these heating result in the dissection and the coagulation. And effective device for coagulating oozing surface here has the advantages of not requiring electrical current to passes through the patient. This is infrared coagulation instruments. The infrared coagulation the instruments is inserted in the anorectal places to treat the anorectal disorder. The next one is cryotherapy. Use the freezing temperature to cause cell death. Ultrasound assisted cryotherapy. Cryotherapy causes cell death by the combination of several possible mechanisms: cold shock injury, reduction of cell volume by osmotic dehydration, denutrition of vital cellular enzyme, perforation of cell membrane by intracellular by ice crystal, and destruction by microvasculature. This is the gas produced in the cryotherapy, the cryotherapy instruments. The next one is beam. Beam technology using biological impedance electrical auto measurement concept is smart advanced technology that able to produce controlled tissue fusion without causing any carburation. This technology is being aggressively developed incorporated into the variety of modern surgery. Beam inferences can intelligently auto measure the impedance hemorrhoids tissue and then acts sealing mechanism machines to seal base hemorrhoids. It's a beam machine. Advantage of beam machine. The method takes the short time. The tissues dry in the head without corporation of the closed window. Then no hemorrhage after treatment and no hospital stay, no infection. The patient can return the home of soon after treatment. Beam method can cure big ring mixed hemorrhoids one time. No anal stenosis after the treatment. Thank you and thank you, Indra.
Thank you, doctor. Next, I invite Dr. Premal Suresh for the paper presentation. Hello, doctor.
Yes, am I audible?
Audible, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Is it visible?
No, doctor, not visible, doctor. Yes, now visible, doctor. Please start, doctor.
1 minute. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Premal Suresh Musai. I am second year PG student of Shalyatantra department at Saptashringi Ayurvedic Mahavidyalaya, Nashik. Guided by Dr. Ramesh Ahire, my topic is use of laser therapy for hemorrhoidectomy, a systematic review of the literature. Abstract: hemorrhoids are common medical condition known since history, and this is very common disease that affect any age group and both genders. It is clinically characterized by painless rectal bleeding during defecation with or without prolapsing anal tissue. Generally, hemorrhoids can be classified into two types: internal hemorrhoids and external hemorrhoids. There are different options for treatment of the patient with hemorrhoids. For conservative management with dietary factor, sclerotherapy injection, rubber band ligation, diathermy coagulation, or procedures like open surgical method. Laser hemorrhoidoplasty is relatively new procedure for hemorrhoid treatment in which the hemorrhoidal blood flow is coagulated by laser. Recently, various types of laser is introduced like carbon dioxide, yttrium, aluminum, ginat. In the management of the hemorrhoids, laser hemorrhoidectomy technique is used to treat the patient with the second and third degree hemorrhoids without any harm to surrounding tissue, with short operative time and less post-operative complication. Introduction: hemorrhoids or piles are one of the most common ill effect of urbanization, which cause a great amount of misery. The term pile is non-specific when used by patient and may be described any local anal condition. The term may be cover a large number of symptoms, from bleeding due to rectal neoplasm to irritation caused by fungus infection. Because of the increased incidence of hemorrhoids and despite treatment diversity, several complications such as bleeding, strangulation, thrombosis, fibrosis, ulceration, suppuration, and portal pyemia can occur. Mellingen-Morgan procedure is the gold standard and mostly used surgical method. Post-operative pain is the most common problem with this surgery. The other early complications are hemorrhage, urinary retention, and abscess formation, etc. These drawbacks lead to the introduction of the laser treatment for hemorrhoids, having many advantages such as easy and efficient application and painless nature. In this, we aim to study the literature of the laser hemorrhoidectomy with other surgical method in the management of the hemorrhoids. A. Use of laser therapy for hemorrhoids, a systematic review of literature. Objective to study the systematic review of the outcome of laser therapy for the treatment of hemorrhoids. Study material. Definition. Arivat pranino मांसकीलका विशंसन्ति यत् अर्शांसि तस्मात् उच्यन्ते गुदमार्ग निरोधतः. Reference by Ashtang Hriday Nidan. An abnormal sprout-like growth occur in a guda, which is torturing to the patient like an enemy and create an obstruction of anal passage. It is called as arsha. Expanded, twisted, and varicose veins are arising in the anus are called as hemorrhoids. They are initiating in the epithelial plexus and appearance by radicals of the superior, middle, and inferior rectal vein. Symptoms. Acharya describes symptoms, that is rupas, of the arsha, which are mainly divided into two groups. They are general, that is samanya, and specific, that is vishesh. Symptoms of arsha are angamarda, aruchak, ashmari, asya vairasya, payushula, astishula, nabhi vamshanashula, praharsha, murcha, shama bhinnaswara, deenata, alpashukrata, hrideshula, nabhishula, jvara, kasashvasa, pinasa, trishna, klabya, klama, krishata, shavatu, Pandu, Parvashula, and Timira. According to the modern science, the symptoms of hemorrhoids are as following: bleeding after defecation, feeling of mass near the anal opening, prolapsed mass, itching near the anal opening, discharge, severe pain, and anemia. Chikitsa. The best treatment for the hemorrhoid is prevention. The need for the treatment for hemorrhoid is primarily based on subjective perception of the severity of the symptom, and the assignment of the treatment is decided on the traditional classification of hemorrhoids. Non-surgical methods are considered to be the primary option for grade 1 to 3 hemorrhoids. Non-operative management for hemorrhoids includes following procedure. They are rubber band ligation, injection sclerotherapy, infrared photocoagulation, cryosurgery, radiofrequency coagulation, and excision. Doppler guided hemorrhoidal artery ligation, if conservative measure fail to control symptom, may be referred for operative management. Operative management for hemorrhoids: closed submucosal hemorrhoidectomy, open hemorrhoidectomy, whitehead hemorrhoidectomy, staple hemorrhoidectomy. Complications are pain, which can lead to the fecal impaction, acute retention of urine, reactionary or secondary hemorrhage, anal stricture, anal fissure. Long-term sequelae of hemorrhoidectomy include incontinence and anal stenosis. Hemorrhoidectomy is associated with the significant complication, including pain, bleeding, and wound infection, lead to prolonged hospital stay. Hence, the laser technique for hemorrhoidectomy is the safe procedure associated with the less post-operative pain. Non-excisional laser therapy was initially described in 1998 by Bar et al. With experimental animal study. Indication for laser hemorrhoidectomy: patient with grade 3 hemorrhoids can be treated with laser therapy. Mechanism of action: laser hemorrhoidectomy is relatively new procedure for treatment of hemorrhoids. In this procedure, the blood flow to the hemorrhoids is coagulated by the laser. Prior to this procedure, the patient is anesthetized. The laser probe is inserted into the hemorrhoids. Due to an intense amount of heat, the laser beam cauterizes and seal off the blood vessel. Therefore, the hemorrhoids will simply shrink while reducing the risk of excessive bleeding during and after the procedure. Since the laser hemorrhoidectomy is prescribed procedure, it leaves no effect to the surrounding tissue as well as the anal sphincter. The intense beam of light interacts with the tissue and can be used to cut, coagulate, or ablate the tissue and tiny blood vessel. It has minimum post-operative discomfort. Laser is used for dissecting and excising bile mass. It is done for internal hemorrhoids. Advantages: it is less operative time, less perioperative bleeding and pain, less complication like constipation, urinary retention. The procedure can be performed as a daycare procedure and minimal medication, rapid healing, quick recovery, done under local anesthesia or spinal anesthesia. Most studies with the laser hemorrhoidectomy show high patient satisfaction. The ratio is up to 90%. Laser hemorrhoidectomy is considered a minimally invasive procedure for hemorrhoid treatment. The procedure allows patients to achieve the best possible outcome with minimal discomfort and rapid recovery. Conclusion: the laser hemorrhoidectomy is more preferable choice as compared to open surgical hemorrhoidectomy due to significantly lesser perioperative pain duration. References. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. So next I invite Dr. Aditi Sukumar Pawar.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Audible, doctor.
Okay, I will share my screen.
Okay, doctor, please.
Is it visible?
Yes, doctor, visible, doctor. Please start, doctor.
Okay. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Aditi Pawar, PG second year from Komargutta Department, Yashwant Ayurvedic College, Kodali. My topic is Dincharya and its application in children's day-to-day life. Introduction. Dincharya refer to Ayurvedic daily routine recommendations that educate how to live a healthier, happier, long life and avoid all diseases. Dincharya is important for children too because it sets them up for a lifetime of healthy habits and give them a healthy stress management tool that they can use both now and in the future. One has to follow or has to follow the Dincharya from his childhood to remain healthy. But the daily routine of newborn, toddler, preschool children, school-going children and adolescents is quite different and always changing as per the age and time. Thus, the principle of Dincharya is primarily governed by time management. Ayurvedic tests consist of Dincharya for average adults, but we can find little and scattered references regarding Dincharya in pediatrics. Hence, with some modification in Dincharya, it can be applied for children too. Dincharya varies with Vaya, that is, Garbha, Shishu, Bala, Kumara, Shirapa, Shiranath, and Annath. The classification according to age is as follows: newborn, that is 0 to 28 days, infant 1 to 12 months, toddler 1 to 3 years, preschool 3 to 6 years, school age child 6 to 12 years, adolescent 10 to 19 years. Okay, Dincharya. Pratidinam Kartavyam Charya is Dincharya. Essential activities to be done by an individual in a day for well-being are called
Hello, Dr.
Dincharya.
Aditi.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, your slides are not moving, doctor. It
Okay,
shows
I
first
will.
slide, doctor.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Okay, doctor.
Is it moving now, sir?
Yes, doctor, now moving, doctor. Please continue, doctor.
Okay. Dincharya. Activities including waking up for the morning to sleep in the evening. The Dincharya of mother, Dhatri, depends on the Dincharya of the Shishu. The Shishu may be dependent, partially dependent, or independent. In dependent, we consider here the newborns. In partially dependent, we consider toddler and preschool group. Independent, we consider teenage and adolescents. Significance of Dincharya: to create a strong and healthy base for future life and to attain a happy and healthy life, to prevent lifestyle diseases in adulthood, to establish the balance of tridosha in our body, which help to regulate a person's biological clock and synchronize us to the nature circadian rhythm. This is the Ayurvedic clock, as we all know. Activities included in Dincharya are as follows. We will see them one by one. Waking up timing, that is Brahma Muhurta. Ayurvedic recommend waking up early in the morning. According to Ayurveda, you should wake up, that is 1.5 hours before sunrise. It is called Brahma Muhurta in Ayurveda. This is perfect time for waking up for a healthy person. But does Brahma Muhurta is applicable to all age group children? Answer to this question is no. Younger children rise earlier than adults. Hence, waking up method should be considered here. Waking up method must be polite. If waking up with fear causes cognitive and learning problems, the first thing to see after waking up, the children must be educated about the screen timing. Ushapan or Dugdhapan. Drinking water early in the morning on empty stomach is nothing but Ushapan, but water should be boiled and stored overnight in a clean, shiny copper container. Age, quantity, container and type of liquid may vary. Age and quantity may vary from 50 ml to 200 ml according to the stomach capacity. Container must be mostly of metal containers and type of liquid. Should avoid adding empty calories to the water. Dugdhapan must be done after brushing teeth, otherwise may cause mandagi. Malotsarga, that is attending nature's call.
After getting the urge to urine and feces, naturally the person should eliminate the stool and urine, must not avoid the urges, that is, Mutra and Purishvek Dharan should be avoided. It may lead to Pindikodveshtan or Pratishaya. Toilet training must be given, that is, pee and poo training must be given in 1 to 3 years of age, as there is easy grasping and good obeying of commands. As the child grows, avoid the use of diapers and train them properly for the toilet training. Danto Dhawan, Jiva, Nilekan, and Gandush. Most people are using toothpaste, but Ayurveda don't recommend it. Ayurveda recommend the use of plant twig or herbal powder for cleaning the teeth. Plant twig should be either Katutikta Kashaya. Cinnamon powder with Madhu can also be used. Train the children about the Danta Dhawan Vidhi and timing and frequency. Jivanilekan, tongue cleaning. Tongue cleaner should be made of gold, silver, iron, or a strong twig of the tree that is soft, smooth, 10 finger long, and serves to clean. Kaval and Gandush is not indicated in children, but toddler children can be advised to have Gandush and Kavala after the oromotor development happens. Anjana. There are two types of Anjana. Saviranjan applied daily helps in maintaining the health of eyes and vision. Application should be in morning and evening. Lower eyelids from inner canthus to outer. Rasanjana. Rasanjana is told to use weekly, once at night, to evacuate excess kapha dosha. To protect the eyes from excessive screen time, certain herbs are also used. Nasya. Nasya is not advised in small children, but instead of applying nasya, oil can be applied over the nostril at the age of toddler. When the naso-oral coordination develops, then we can start to use nasya. Abhyanga. Abhyanga is an important procedure and still being practiced in every home. Skillful people are needed for this. Using Abhyanga in Shita Rutu and Shita Abhyanga in Ushna Rutu strengthens the body, repairs and regenerates tissue. It is very good in pacifying vata, relieve tiredness, and many more. It improves eyesight, nourishes and develops muscles and complexion, and improves skin. Based on age, season, prakriti, oil can be decided. Abhyanga benefit is that daily close examination of the children is possible. Vyayam or exercise. Kumarayati, Kridayati. The one who plays excessively is called as Kumara. Children should be engaged in outdoor games which increase social bonding and group play which help in cognitive development. Games like Kho should be encouraged. Regular exercise, especially yoga, improve circulation, strength and endurance. Help when relax, have sound sleep, improve digestion and elimination. Exercise daily to half of your capacity is advised, which is until sweat forms on the forehead and armpit, that is about 30 to 45 minutes. Snana, bath, bathing time, duration, type of water, type of bath place, pre-bath and post-bath rule should be explained to the children. Sukoshna gel is advised. Children should avoid regular head baths. Cold water bath helps in improving eyesight and digestion. Pouring warm water over the body bestows strength, but the same over the head makes for loss of strength of hair and eyes. Bhojan Vidhi, based on age, Agni, Bala, Oja, food is decided. Should take food with full concentration without watching TV, listening to music. One must follow timeout method for children. Sadvrita, rules of good conduct, include joy of giving, joy of forgiving, power of love, and power of play. This is all told in Acharya sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Next, I invite Dr. Kalyani for the paper presentation.
Hello.
Hello. Doctor,
Am
you
I
are audible,
audible?
Doctor. Please share the screen, Doctor.
I think there is problem in sharing. Can you share?
Okay, doctor. 1 minute, doctor. I will share for you. Doctor, please start, doctor.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Kalyani Bhasi, second year PG scholar, Dravyagun department. I'm going to talk about a review on a concept of Pratinidhi Dravya under the guidance of Dr. Parshuram Pawar sir from Shri Saptashungi Ayurved Mahavidyalay, Nashik. Introduction. Acharya Charak in Sutrasthana described the qualities of ideal drugs having abundant supply, but to meet this quality of drug Bahuta, we either have to cultivate or substitute the dravyas. The increasing high uses as well as illegal overharvesting combined with the habitat destruction resulted in drastic reduction of many medicinal plants population. Demand of medicinal plants is ever increasing but fails to meet the supply with authentic drug, giving rise to irrational substitution. Substitution is a replacement of equivalent drug in place of original drug. Most of the time, substitutes are deliberately selected and rationally used to bring desired effect. Principles to select the substitute drugs are based on a similar rasa, guna, virya, vipak, and mainly the karma. The drugs which were less available in local area were replaced by other drugs known as substitute drugs. The concept of Pratinidhi Dravya. It is the action of replacing something with other thing when the original genuine drug is not available or costlier or uncertain or having some side effects than the drug with similar action which is either inferior or equal in potency but easily available or cheaper or certain in identity or having less side effect is used. Most essential criteria for substitution are pharmacological activity rather than morphology or phytoconstituents. Need of substitution, non-availability of genuine drug, substitution of Ashtak Dravya, Jivak, Rishabha can be substituted with Vidarikanda, Kakolik, Shir Kakolik can be substituted with Ashwagandha, uncertain identity of the Dravya. Due to uncertain different species such as Sida cordifolia, Sida acuta, etc. are considered for the herb bala, cost of the dravyas. When the drug is too expensive and the patient is unable to afford it, for example, substitution of kesa with kusumba. Geographical distribution of the drug. Murva is taken in north as Pluchia lanceolata, but in south as Alpinia gallenga. Preparation form of the drug. In case of unavailability of Guduchi Sattva, Guduchi Swaras can be used. Undesirable side effect of original drug. When use of original drug leads to some undesirable side effects. For example, Vasa is Rakta Pittahara, but abortifacient. So in pregnancy, Ashoka is given in its place. Qualities of substitutes. Substitutes should have similar pharmacological action like that of genuine drugs. Substitutes should be available easily and in large quantity. Substitutes should be easy to prepare the required formulation. Criteria for substitution exhibit similarity in rasa panchaka. For example, Bharangi and Kantakari both contains Katu rasa, Katu vipak, and Ushnavirya. Exhibit similar therapeutic effect. For example, Ativisha and Mustak both having Deepan and Pachan karma. In a formulation, the Pradhan Dravya should never be substituted. For example, Trivrit in Avipattekar Churnam can never be replaced with another drug. Next example, Haritaki. Haritaki in Agastya Haritaki should never be substituted. Limitation of substitution. Substitution should not be adopted for principal drug, but it can be done in case of such a drugs which are subsidiary. Substituted drug cannot fulfill whole properties of the original drug. Relevance and impact in Chikitsa. Most important criteria of Pratinidhi Dravya is similar in indication and their therapeutic activities.
To select a proper substitute, one has to not only seek overall similarity of Rasapanchak but also test its therapeutic efficacy clinically. According to the Ayurveda Sarasangra, the formulation contains one main drug and other supportive drugs. The formulation cannot be formed without the main drug, hence the main drug cannot be replaced by any other drug. For example, Bal Chaturbhadra Churna. Bal Chaturbhadra Churna is used in the treatment of pediatric complaints like fever, diarrhea, cough, cold, asthma, nausea, and vomiting. It contains Ghana, Krishna, Aruna, Shrungi, Ativisha. As both Musta and Ativisha are present in the formulation, Musta can be substituted double the quantity. The substitute will not exhibit desired effect of genuine drug. Discussion. To meet the supply as per demand and to avoid the adulteration, substitution is the need of today's era. Most essential criteria for substitution are pharmacological activity rather than the morphology or phytoconstituent. So it will help to maintain the efficacy and potency of the formulation up to maximum extent. Substitution of the herbs achieved by many goals through basic idea was to provide similar therapeutic effect as that of original drug. It provided a greater scope for the physician to utilize the herbs that are easily available, cost effective, and most appropriate for clinical condition. Conclusion. Substitution of the herbs is the need of the hour. The most essential criteria for the substitution are the pharmacological activity rather than the morphology or phytoconstituents. Substitutes are of greater importance and efforts should be made for their systematic identification, evaluation by pharmacognostical and phytochemical studies. In the current scenario, endangered plant list is increasing gradually. Thus, implementation of Pratinidhi Dravya may be the right opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. So next I invite Dr. Diksha Naika. I invite Dr. Diksha. Dr. Diksha.
Hello, Dr.
Hello,
Diksha,
Dr.
can you hear
Diksha.
me?
Please respond.
Hello, Dr. Diksha, can you hear me? We can't hear your voice, doctor.
Dr. Diksha, you are not audible.
Dr. Diksha, please reconnect your headset, doctor.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, now audible, doctor.
Hello. Now it's audible.
Yes, doctor, audible, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Now it's audible.
Yes, doctor, audible, doctor. Please share
As,
the screen, doctor.
there is something problem in the sharing screen. Can you please share the screen?
Okay, doctor. 1 minute. Dr. Diksha, please chat, doctor.
Namaste to one and all. My topic of presentation is role of Panchakarma in Grahani. Coming to introduction, Grahani Roga is a chronic disease widely explained in our classics, which refers to a disease which occurs in a Grahani due to a initiation of an Agni and explained as one among the Annavaha Srota Vikara. It is the Tridoshaja Vadi which occurs due to a depletion of Jataragni by Samana Vayu, Pachaka Pitta and Kiridaka Kapha. Grahani Roga is one of the Ashtamahagada. The symptoms of an Grahani resembles those of an IBS, such as indigestion, altered stool consistency, and disturbed bowel habits. Incidences affecting nearly 181.75 per 10,000 of population around the world. Young women are more affected than in men. Coming to a definition, Jataragni is the chief Agni among all Agni, in which the Bhutagni and Datvagni are depends upon it. Vriddhi and Kshaya of a Jataragni leads to an Vriddhi and Kshaya of a Bhutagni and Datvagni. appropriate ahara should be taken, which is wholesome to an Agni, because the strength of an individual depends upon the Chaturagni. Coming to Anvidana, abhojana, ajirna bhojana, then ati bhojana, vishamashana, ati shita, ushna, ruksha, and improper administration of vamana and virechana. And coming to a samprapti, nidana sevana, dosha prakopa, agni dushti, apachana, amopatti, shukta paka ama visha, grahani dosha, grahani dushti, grahani roga. Samanya lakshanas like atisrushtam vibaddam vadrava, trushna, arochaka, vairasya, praseka, tamakashwasa, jwara, chardi, loha, amagandhi, tikta amla udgara. And types of grahani are vataja, pittaja, kafaja, and sannipataja. Then the lakshanas of grahani can be correlated to an IBS. IBS means the irritable bowel syndrome. IBS consisting of a group of GI symptoms, particularly associated with the lower bowel in absence of demonstrable organic pathology. According to Rome criteria for an IBS, at least 3 months continuous or a recurrent symptoms of an abdominal pain associated with one of the following, like a relief by defecation, change in stool consistency, change in stool frequency, and another symptoms like altered stool frequency and altered stool form and altered stool passage and passage of mucus and abdominal bloating. And these conditions can be managed by drug therapies like antispasmodics and antidiarrheal agents and antidepressants, non-drug therapies like stress management and psychotherapy and hypnotherapy. And coming to an chikitsa, in Vataja Grahani, Gritapana, Niruha Basti, Virechana with Eranda Tailo or Tilvaka Grita mixed with Kshara, and Anuvasana Basti with Deepaniya and Vatanashaka Dravya Sadita Taila. And in Pittaja Grahani, Virechana and Vamana can be administered, and in Tikta Dravya Sadita Grita can be given, and in Kafaja Grahani, Vamana can be done. And coming to among all the Panchakarma procedures, Basti and Shirodhara are more effective than more effective in Grahani, as Basti is considered as an Ardha Chikitsa. The Picha Basti plays an important role. Here is an article on a role of a Picha Basti in management of an Grahani with respect to irritable bowel syndrome. And there here the 160 ml of an Picha Basti was given for 14 days, and dravyas like Shalmali Niryasa and Krishni Tilapishti and Grita and Madhu and Dugda are used. And in the Picha Basti consisting Picha Basti has an Pichila Guna, does the protective layer over an intestine and reduces in irritation of an intestine. It acts as an Pitta Shamaka, Shotohara, Vranaropaka and Raktastambaka. Hence it is mainly indicated in Agrahani. Next, coming to Shirodhara. In Shirodhara, Shirodhara is one among the Murti Taila. Then in Vataja, Tila Taila is used, and in Pittaja, Grita is used, and in Kapaja, Tila Taila is used. And coming to a conclusion, IBS is a complex disease with pathophysiology that is poorly understood. If treated with the contemporary medicine may give a symptomatic relief only and also causes and side effects, as the incidence of an IBS are more nowadays. Hence the Panchakarma procedures like in Vamana, Virechana, Basti and Shirodhara are more effective. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay. And now I invite Dr. Majeshwari KV for the next presentation.
Thank you, Esme. Am I audible?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
Audible,
Doctor.
Doctor.
So, whether the screen is visible, sir?
Yes, Doctor. Visible, Doctor. Please start, Doctor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. So, my topic is a brief review on Kshara Sutra by Dr. Madhusri KV, under the guidance of Dr. Vasudha A, Guide and Professor, Department of Shalyatantra, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Bengaluru. Introduction. Kshara is a caustic chemical, alkaline in nature, obtained by methodological process from the ashes of medicinal plants. They are considered as anshastras, like sharp surgical instruments, because they do chedana, vedana actions, which are otherwise possible by using sharp instruments, that is shastras. Kshara therapy is a minimal invasive Ayurvedic parasurgical procedure and time-tested Ayurvedic technique in the management of anorectal disorders. It's a safe, sure, and cost-effective method of treatment for fistula in ano, hemorrhoids, and other sinus diseases. It's a popular treatment modality in India for the management of fistula in ano. It works by the action of excision, scraping, draining, penetrating, debridement, and sclerosing, as well as healing simultaneously without a surgical excision. So, derivations and definitions of Kshara. In Shabda Kalpadrama, the word Kshara is derived from the root Kshara Sanchalani, which means to melt away or to perish. As per Sushruta, Tatra Ksharanat Ksharanadva Kshara, that which has Ksharana and Ksharana Guna is called as Kshara. In the commentary of Dalana, we'll get Ksharana, that is Ksharanat Dushtatvadi Sanchalanat, Shatanat Ityartha, Anyetu Ksharana Doshanam Chalanat. It refers to melting away, that is, vilayana is an important property, or mobilization, cutting or piercing through tvak and mamsadi dhatus. Kshananat tvak mamsadi himsanat. It refers to destroying or mitigating the morbid growths. As per Charaka, Chitva Ashayat Ksharaha Ksharatvat Ksharayat Yadaha. Kshara is the one which scrapes the abnormal tissue from its location and destroys it after dissolving it because of its corrosive nature. So, Sutra, the Sanskrit word Sutra, which means string or thread, it is derived from the root word sieve, that which sieves and holds the things together. Thus, Kshara Sutra means thread made up of caustic material which destroys or cleans the devitalized tissue and to disintegrate the skin or other tissues. Kshara Sutra in classical era, pioneer of Ayurvedic surgery, Acharya Sushruta, first mentioned Kshara Sutra in the treatment of Nadi Varana, Bagandhara, Arputa, etc., but does not emphasize upon its preparation. Chakraparni Datta was the first person to mention the method of preparation, its indication in Bagandhara and Arsha. He described method of preparation as smearing a thread repeatedly in latex of snuhi and haridra powder. After Chakraparni Datta, almost all other authors described the same method of preparation of Kshara Sutra. But because of complexity of preparation and inadequate method of procedure, it lost its popularity. So, in Rasatarangini, which was published later to Chakradatta, a better Kshara Sutra preparation was introduced. And the credit of standardization and development for practical use mainly goes to Professor P.J. Deshpande and Dr. S.R. Gupta in the present era. Context of Kshara Sutra. In Charaka Samhita, Kshara Sutra is described in the chapter of Shvayetu Chikitsa. That is, Kshara Sutra should be used with other measures in the management of Bagandhara. Sushruta mentioned its reference in Nadi Varana Chikitsa. Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Hridaya had clearly mentioned along with Shastra Karma, Agni Karma, and Kshara Karma. Chakradatta in his Arshodhikara clearly mentioned Kshara Sutra in the usage of but the usage of Kshara in the preparation of Kshara Sutra has not been mentioned there. Sadananda Sharma in his book Rasatarangini emphasized more upon preparation of Kshara Sutra, but not clearly mentioned the usage of Kshara. He emphasized 7 coatings of Haridra powder should be done on thread laid by Snuhikshira. He was very specific for its usage in Budankura and Bagandhara. Gadanigraha has also emphasized a formula for making caustic alkali to be used in anal fistulae. Preparation of Kshara Sutra as per classics. Kshara Sutra preparation has not been elaborately described by Ayurveda people. Dalana has commented Kshara Pitena Sutre, means sutra containing or dipped in Kshara. As per Chakradatta, Bhavitam Rajani Churnai Snuyikshirai Punapuna Bandhanat Sudridam Sutram Inatyarsho Bagandharam. A suitable thread is immersed in Haridra Churna and in Snuyikshira repeatedly for many times. Each time it must be dried under shade. This can be used in Arshas and Bagandhara. As per Rasakamadenu, the thread smeared with Snuhikshira or Arkakshira 3 times should be dried in shade, and after having applied with Kshara, it should be used in the treatment of Arsha and Bagandhara. So similar method of preparation is also found in Rasatangini. That is, a thread should be smeared with the cloth dipped in Sudha Dugdha or Sneak Shira mixed with Haridra Churna. Later, the thread should be dried in the shade. This procedure should be repeated for 7 times. And this thread will be called as Kshara Sutra, which is highly beneficial in rooting out Gudankura and Bagandhara. Preparation of Kshara Sutra, that is present method of preparation as per Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India. Present technique of manufacturing is basically an outcome of repeated experimentations based on clinical experiences, and the materials required are Snowy Kshira. Fresh latex should be collected from Euphorbia nerifolia plant. Apamarga Kshara, specially prepared alkaline powder derived from Acaranthus aspera. Haridra Churna, fine powder of the dried rhizomes of Curcuma longa. Surgical thread, number 20 linen thread should be used. Kshara Sutra cabinet for drying the Kshara Sutra. Incubator used for placing Kshara, etc. to avoid harmful effect of moisture present in the open environment. These are the images of collection of Snowy Kshira, surgical thread, and Kshara Sutra cabinet. So preparation of Kshara Sutra, successive smearing and drying 21 times, that is totally, and initially Snowy latex 11 times, Snowy latex with Apamarga Kshara for 7 times, Snowy latex with turmeric for 3 times. So totally 21 smearing and drying will be done. Put on the ultraviolet lamp of the Kshara Sutra cabinet daily for 20 to 30 minutes to maintain sterile atmosphere right from the first day of coating. So after the procedure, the threads should be cut in uniform length, that is 29 to 31 centimeter. And the prepared Kshara Sutra should be sealed in glass tube in a cabinet and should be exposed to UV radiation. Packing, labeling, and storage. Giving a single fold thread inside Kshara Sutra should be placed inside a polythene sachet, packed in a glass tube, and seal it along with the silica bag as a desiccant to absorb moisture. Labeling should be done, and it should be kept free from moisture, away from direct sunlight and heat. Preparation of Kshara Sutra, that is justification of the process. Snowy Kshira, which has sticking and proteolytic action, useful in debridement of tissues, works in acidic pH, thus 11 coatings first. Apamarga Kshara will do debridement through caustic action, works in alkaline pH, and it is hygroscopic. Neutralization by Snowy Kshira, thus 7 times. Haridra, it is an antiseptic, wound healing, anti-inflammatory, forms protective coating, thus 3 times in the last. Indications of Kshara Sutra, Bagandhara, fistula of perineal region, perianal region, Nadi Vrana, Ashas, Charmakila, Dushta Nadi Vrana, Vrana, Vidradi, Arbuda, Adimamsa, and Yoni Arsha. Mechanism of Kshara Sutra action. It mainly acts by virtue of its mechanical action and chemical cauterization. Local drug delivery system. The Kshara Sutra remains in direct contact of the tract and root. Therefore, it acts directly on the diseased area. Herbal chemical cauterization. Kshara Sutra dissolves the tough fibrous tissue and chemically curates all the infection out of the tract, and thereby allowing the fistulous tract to collapse and heal. It facilitates the drainage of infection in the form of pus. Promotes healing. Kshara Sutra, due to its antibacterial property, does not allow the bacteria to multiply in the presence and promotes healthy healing. It cuts the fistula tract naturally. Kshara Sutra performs cutting of fistula tract because of mechanical pressure of tightening of the thread at each sitting. Modifications of Kshara Sutra. Although the standard method of Apamarga Kshara Sutra preparation and its application as primary and replacement threading is a time-tested treatment and is still the gold standard, there are a few modifications that have been tried successfully by various researchers and institutions. Some of these do make the preparations easier, while others make application less painful or may provide with better healing. For example, Udumbara Kshara Sutra, Gugulu-based Kshara Sutra, Papaya Sutra, Guruta Kumari Kshara Sutra, Tankana Kshara Sutra, and Gandha Firoja-based Kshara Sutra, and many more. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. So next I invite Dr. Rakhavendra.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, I'll share my screen there. Hello.
Hello, doctor. You are audible, doctor. Please share the screen, doctor.
Screen is visible now.
Not visible, doctor.
Okay. It's some issue, I think. Hello, doctor.
Hello, doctor. You have any problem with screen sharing, doctor?
It's not sharing actually. Can you share, please?
Okay, doctor. 1 minute, doctor.
Okay.
Doctor, please start the session, doctor.
Okay, okay. Thank you. 1 minute. Hello, doctor. Hello.
Okay, doctor. Please start, doctor. Hello, doctor. Please start, doctor.
Okay, okay. My topic is that Shiroroga Nidan and its critical analysis in the current era. Please take the next slide. That is first of all, the importance of Shira. What we'll see in that is Prana Prana Vruta Mitrashita there. In that shloka, all the Indriyas, what are Sarvendriya are there that are placed in a Shiras. So that is the Shiras is a main important organ. And next, the Charaka Siddhisthana 9th chapter, what they have explained is Hrudaye Murni Vastochanranam Pranam Pratishtitaha. Matlab, what they have told, these are the 3 sites where the prana resides. Hence, the Murni also one of them. Hence, it is also one of the important. And next, Pancha Shirorogas are there. And what are those? Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Sannipatas, and Krimisha. These are the Samanya. And again, when we see in the Charaka Siddhisthana and all, they have told Vishesha Shirorogas like Shankaka, Ardhava, Vedaka, Suryavarta, and Anantavata. These are the Vishesha. And for these diseases, what are the Nidanas? We'll see. This is a chart where the what Nidanas will leads to an Shiroroga according to different Achara they have explained. Next slide. Hello. Hello.
Hello, doctor.
Okay, okay. Next slide. Correct, correct. Nidana, what I have quoted is it is according to the Charaka, that is Sandharana, Divasopnath, Ratrojagarana. These are all the Nidanas are there. Next, one by one, I'll explain. Next slide. First of all, Sandharana. Sandharana means the Vegas what will suppress in day-to-day life, that which will leads to a Shiroroga. That Charaka has explained the Kshavatu and Nidra Vega. These two are the Vega Dharana will lead one in one or the other way. These are going to lead to for a Shiroroga. That is in Kshavatu, straight away they have explained the Shiroshula, and Nidra, Vega Dharana, they have explained Shirorogas. Next slide. That is the Divaswapna. Due to the Divaswapna, Kapha Prakopa is going to take place and associated with all the dosas. Hence, the one dosha is going to be in a Prakopa, and other than remaining 2 doshas also will be Prakopa Avastha. That Kaphaja disorders and the other also, mainly the Kapha, Tarpaka Kapha is resides in Shira. Hence, it is going to be in a Prakopa Avastha. And if you go on seeing the Kapha Sthana, that is Uraha, Kanta, Shiraha, what Ashtanga has explained, then Shira is also one of the sthana. Hence, the symptoms may exhibit there also. And modern what we can correlate like sinusitis and all pathologies will leads to due to this Divasopna, daytime sleeping. Next slide. Next, Ratri Jagarana. What we'll see in the day-to-days this current era, that late night parties and waking up at the night by seeing the mobiles and all, that will leads to an Vata Prakopa, mainly the Pranavayu. Shula is mainly due to Vata dosha. If you go on seeing the without the Vata, mainly 3 diseases can't be manifested. One among them is this Shula, that is Shira Shula, and lack of sleep causes a migraine and a tension headaches. These what we can correlate in the modern aspect, and we can conclude that Ratri Jagarana will also leads to a Shiroroga, and it appears that a lack of sleep reduces the body pain threshold. The body pain threshold will be reduced and it will cause a headache. Next, Uchair Vasha. Uchair Vasha is a shouting and making noises and all, that will leads to also the Vata Prakopa, and hence it causes the Shiroroga and Marmagata also. And in contemporary science, what we can correlate is stress that stressens the jaw muscles, And if we have the TMJ disorders like a temporomandibular joint, and it can also cause the diseases, and it can cause that headaches also. Next slide. Avashay, that is exposure to cold climates, cold stimulus headache can be caused, and we can see the breeze, brain freeze headache. What I have mentioned, that is due to a cold climate, what we can see in day-to-day life, and a result from the nerve response, it will cause a headache by constricting the vessels. Next slide. Next is Pragvatat. Again, it is also one of the Nidana by the Vata only. Vata increases, and the symptom what we can get is Shiroshula. Next slide. Atimaitunath, more indulges in sexual activity. Again, the Vata Prakopa, mainly Apana Vata Vikruti, is going to take place. In this case also, the Shiroruk is one of the symptom, and also Shukra Kshaya is taking place, where the Dhatu, Uttarottara Dhatu Kshaya will be taking place in reverse manner. So, the other Dhatus will also get affected, and it will cause the Shirorogas. Next slide. Gandhat asatmyat, as a Shira contains the main Panchendriya, that the Granendriya also placed in here, hence the changes in the any Indriya also leads to Shiroroga. And again, what we can see is one of the Dvishtartha Yogas Chardi, that is due to Gandhat asatmyat only. And there they have mentioned the Shiroroja as a one of the Lakshana, and in contemporary next slide, what we are using the perfumes and all, no, that will also cause the Shiroroga. Next slide. That only. Also, the perfumes causes the headaches. In some fragrance contains a variety of chemicals to achieve the specific scents. In the preparation of scents, they are using the multiple chemicals that may be compatible to one person, and another person may get a headache. Everyone will not get the headaches, but among the population, 30% will get the headache. Next slide. Madat, alcohol use. This is also one of the leading cause where we can see the headaches and all. Due to this, the Tridosha Prakopa is going to take place, and it causes the Shiroroga. And alcohol-induced headache is a common symptom, and it is ranges between 30 minutes to 3 hours. And DAIH, delayed alcohol-induced headache, that will be there in next day of the alcohol intake. People with the migraines are more likely to get this. Next slide. Rajodhuma. Rajodhuma is one who are working under the factories and all, one who are getting exposed to a dust and all. They will be getting the some sort of headaches and all, and exposure to this will lead to a dosha prakopa. For example, cotton factory, gas industries, rubber factory. These are the examples. Mainly due to this, allergic symptoms may get manifestation, and allergic symptoms what we can see like a sneezing, redness of the eyes also we can see associated with the headaches, and these are the mainly commonly what we can see the allergic conjunctivitis cases only. That will not be exhibited in a single symptoms, that will be always with the combinations. Like if the allergic conjunctivitis patient comes, that will be having the sneezings and all. In this it will get. Next slide. Himatapat, that is more exposure in a cold climate. Again, the cold climate will vary in a physiological things, and it will cause the dosha prakopa, and it causes the headaches, where migraine. In case of migraine, where the exposure to sun and all, it will cause the more intensity, photophobia, excessive light sensitivity. These are the things, and only these things are like who are using the lenses and all. In those conditions also, we can see the headaches. Next slide. Guruvadi Amla Haritadan Atishitambu Sevanat. That is Guru Amla Haritadan. That is Vata Prakopaka, Kapha Prakopaka, Ahara, Vihara, and Shitambu is also again the Kapha Prakopaka. And due to this Prakopaka Aharas and all, we can get the headaches. Next slide. Haritadi Ahara Varga contributes in the improvement of Annavaha, Purusha Vas, Roto Vikriti, and Ama may form. And Ama, if you go on seeing the Ama Lakshanas, there also the Shirashula is one of the Lakshana, hence the directly or indirectly Ama is also related with an Shiroroga. Next slide. Shiro Abhigatat. Shiro Abhigatat means it is a Rakta Dushti mainly, and again the Rakta associated with Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Tridosha Prakopa is going to take place, hence the Rakta along with Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these are going to become the Prakopa Avastha, and it will cause an Shirorogas, mainly in case of an RTA, trauma and head. Structural deformities may take place, and it will cause an headaches like nerve things will be there, and that will causes the radiating pain and all. Next slide. Dushta Ama, Pradana Tridosha Prakopa, Ama causes Ajirna, where the Shiroroga is one of the Lakshana, as I have explained. Next slide. Hello, next slide, please. Rodhanat, Bashpa Nigrahat, Manasan Tapas. These are the Manovas, Rutudushti, Karan Nidanas, where the Rodhanat, Bashpa Nigrahat, these are all related to Manoha Vikruti, and Sattva, Raja, Tama again comes to Dharana of Vegas and all. Headache due to mental stress in the depression, anxiety, emotional conflicts, and the triggering the pain and contracting the muscles in the neck, face, scalps, and the jaw. These are the pathologies what they may get. Next, Mega Agamat, by rain we can get the headaches in some persons. Next slide. Deshakala Viparya. These are the Deshakala Viparya like Rutu Sandhi, some may get in case of the Rutu Sandhi, where the climatic changes are going to take place, and where the migrations taking place. Somebody will be migrating from one place to another place. In those cases also we can get the some sorts of head related problems, headaches and all. And Desha Viparya, that is Jangama, Sadharana, Anupa, that may also cause the headaches. Next slide. That the conclusion is every nidana has its own effect and its causes the disease, and hence in treatment aspect nidana parivarjana should be the first line of treatment. Next slide. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
doctor.
doctor.
Okay, thank you.
So next I invite Dr. N.C. Bharati.
Dr. Bharati, are you there? Hello, Dr. N.C. Bharati, are you there? Hello, Dr. Bharati, are you there? Okay. Today's presentations seems to be over. I would like to invite Dr. Aishwarya Aras to conclude the session. Dr. Aishwarya.
Thank you, doctor. So now we are going to wind up today's presentation, and tomorrow will be the final day. And before wind up, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our panel members, and good night all. We'll meet tomorrow.